Call of Duty Warzone 2 loadouts have been hotly debated, and apparently Warzone 2 loadouts returning is a thing, according to a reputable leaker who leaked a lot of things before COD Next. I'm going to break down all of the information for you right here at the beginning of the stream, so you don't have to go searching for it. These videos are a little bit longer because it is a live stream, but I give you a nice quick update right here at the beginning. Check out all the links below if you want to order coffee or the shirt that I'm wearing. We appreciate memberships as well. This is a Reforge update. Warzone 2.0 leaker claims that loadouts and perks are coming back with major AI and other looting changes. We're going to break it down for you very quickly in this Reforge update. Also remember to check out Reforge Gaming, where I stream live. So charlieintel.com is quoting a leaker that is reliable. So according to them, Call of Duty YouTuber Metaphor accurately leaked a ton of Warzone 2 details ahead of Call of Duty Next, including the loadout drop's controversial removal, multiple circles, as well as AI all over the map. So if you miss the announcements about Warzone 2.0, they're like, look, we're not doing loadouts anymore, there's going to be multiple circles, and there's going to be AI on the map. And Metaphor called it all early, okay? Now they have new info. They're back with even more Warzone 2 details, leaking that Infinity Ward have reconsidered several of these changes, bringing back loadouts and perks and making major AI and looting changes. This is huge news, but it might upset people because there's people on both sides of this discussion. I will be highlighting reasons people want loadouts gone, as well as why they want them back. There was an emoji puzzle that was solved on Twitter. Metaphor left the Warzone 2 update rather cryptic by tweeting emojis instead of spelling everything out. However, one player appears to have figured it out what they meant, and he responded with the bell emoji. So Metaphor is essentially saying, hey, you solved it, you figured out what's coming. AI changes will also be taking place. If you played the Modern Warfare 2 beta, the use of AI in the invasion mode is something you're familiar with. They are apparently going to be also using their new AI in the raids in the campaign, but in Warzone 2 it received bad feedback. Many content creators, this again is according to Charlie Intel, many content creators playing the early Warzone 2 build during Call of Duty Next complained that the AI was too difficult to distinguish from real players and just got in the way. Now it appears Infinity Ward have scrapped the roaming AI and they'll only appear in strongholds. That's a pretty big change. It sounded like something new they were going to be doing. That again, some of this feels targeted at newer players so they can get easy kills and not worry about somebody with a crazy good loadout winning the game. Now, the loadout feedback was especially strong. Another especially controversial change was removing the classic loadout drop, where Warzone 2.0 players would have to buy their custom weapons from the shop, and perks did not exist in any capacity. This was very frustrating to Warzone players who grew accustomed to the loadout system as well as the perks in the game, many of them feeling this was going to be a dramatic shift from what made the game great. Metaphor claims that Infinity Ward have changed their minds and both loadouts and perks will return in Warzone 2.0. There's no way of knowing exactly how loadouts will now work, but the general assumption is a similar system to the original Warzone. There's also a change to supply crates. It appears that opening supply crates will no longer bring up a small menu where players must click on each item that they want to collect. Instead, all of the lootable items should pop onto the floor once again. So there's two camps here. There's issues with loadouts in the game. People believe that it creates a mid to late game meat grinder. Everyone has their loadout at the end of the game. You win those early fights and loot, and then you buy your loadout, or you stretch drop and you loot, get money, and buy your loadout. This is gameplay affecting. Many feel it's unwelcoming to new players. People are grinding other modes to get all their attachments and unlocks so they can have their god tier kit, and it affects the mid to late game. It doesn't feel like a BR where you kind of make do with what you get. Now, people take issue with the absence of loadouts. They really feel it's going to make for selfish teammates. They enjoy the aspect of giving up cash to help other people in your team buy a really good loadout. It'll lead to buy station camping. People are going to be camping the buy station because that's where you're going to be able to get your weapons now, and it's going to really hurt what made Warzone unique. Many people flocked to Warzone, potentially not just for the Call of Duty name, but for the fact that they offered something that stood out in the BR landscape. Many people get frustrated by the RNG, the random number generator, essentially dictating what loot you find on the ground and where you end up. That can dictate the flow of battle, and it can also dictate who wins in the end. So many people felt that the loadout system made Warzone stand apart, and removing that would be an identity-changing decision. Well, it remains to be seen how it ends up in the game. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Check out Reforge Gaming, where I stream live, and I'll see you in the next video. And I'll see the rest of you right now. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. This is a big one. I even pushed out a short this morning about this particular topic that, look, people really, really want the loadouts gone, but people also really, really want loadouts to come back. They're not happy about this decision to remove them. Guys, go through the morning ritual. Strange start this morning. We usually have a lot more folks here. It might be a slow start, but that's okay. I think this is a big topic, and I think this is big news. So go through your morning ritual. Make sure you're on live chat so you can see what everybody is saying. Make sure you're subscribed so you can talk in my chat, and smash that like button. Give us our first 100 likes. What do you guys think about this? Where do you land on this? Ganks with a 19-month milestone, and it's a tier 2. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome to Reforge Gaming. Thank you, my friend. I greatly appreciate that. Warzone, let's do this. Warzone to loadout system. Should it return? Let's just go with a yes or no poll. We haven't done a poll in a while. Warzone 2 loadout system, should it return, yes or no? Cast your vote at the top of the chat. That's a great way to chime in. Yo, what's good, Snow? I'm here. I came for another good idea, bad idea. Appreciate that, Snow. Loadouts feel like they've been woven into the DNA of Warzone, but I do think the game would be better without them. Any game I've ever played with a decent loadout mechanic made one thing happen, says Derek. I want to have loadout mechanics in every game with extensive weapons and armor every time. It's one of my biggest quality of life wishes. Sven says no. There are very many people that were excited to see Warzone 2 ditching and removing the loadout system. Same crap, new map, says Eugene. I mean, if I'm going to argue for the people in support of loadouts, I think I can do it. It's like, listen, this makes Warzone a different BR than all the other BRs out there. If you want to play a BR where everything's random and everything on the ground dictates what you get and the flow of battle, then go play that, right? Go play those games. It makes perfectly good sense why people are thinking to themselves, listen, this makes Warzone special. This makes Warzone a different style game. This makes it a different type of BR. I can impact the mid to late game fights by having a loadout that fits my play style. But if I argue against loadouts, I think there's perfectly good and strong reasons to argue against loadouts. Like, what do you mean? It's a battle royale, man. Like, what, you get halfway through the game and you get to buy your god tier kit from a box, you know? Yo, what's good, Feed? I see you in the chat. The loadout system prevents new players from jumping straight into a BR match because loadouts are super meta. That is one of the pushbacks, Kavish, the idea that it just becomes metagaming. Everybody runs the same god tier loadout kit, and they're like, this is the way that you win. This is the way that you run mid to late game in Call of Duty Warzone. Loadouts make Warzone sweaty. Literally everyone enters the game thinking they have a better loadout. It makes for great gameplay, says Aaron. If it was the halfway point, that'd be different. Well, the way it was explained to me this morning, Creature, is people either drop, win a lot of fights, right? And then they get their money and then they buy their loadout. Oh, people legit hide until they get their loadout. Right. So it's gameplay affecting, right? You either hide, stretch, drop, or win your fights either way. A lot of love coming in. Hello, Grim, Sven, Eugene, Creature, and Ghost. Yeah, it's good to see you, Snow. Lurker in Chief is here for the live stream. Thank you. Guys, make sure as you're piling in to smash the like button. Lately, the Call of Duty topics have been huge for us. This one is off to a strange start. I'm not sure if YouTube's acting funky or not, but our short about this morning absolutely took off. It was really interesting to see. It like immediately got a lot of engagement. I was like, man, people are hot on this topic. I'd be very happy for loadouts to be changed, says Alex, and how they are currently, but loadouts do give you the freedom to play how you want. I think a basic loadout at the start of a match is fun, says Sci-Fireman, so you can at least hit the ground fighting. Yeah, it's always a 6 of one, half a dozen of another situation, Sci-Fireman, because if everybody dropped on the ground with a reasonably good weapon, then it could be really problematic, right? It could be super problematic. It's like, well, now everybody's going to immediately be thirsting and killing, and you can't really get set up. You can't drop and, like, really scavenge and get stuff. Everybody's pushing and thirsting. It's like, man, oh, man, we just started, right? It was, like, really frustrating when somebody in Fortnite would do that, right? They would drop, get one weapon, and immediately run for anybody that they saw because they didn't care if they died and went back to the lobby. They were, like, going on squad fill and just thirsting and going back to the lobby. They were just farming kills. It was always frustrating to play against those kind of players. Darth Nihilus with 10 months, almost an entire year of membership. Thanks for jumping back in, Darth, and it's a tier 2. Don't forget your Florida viewers are dealing with a hurricane. Yeah, that could be part of the issue. I mean, but the short did so well this morning. I expected to have kind of a pile-in on this topic. Buying loadouts feels like a reward. It rewards tactical play as opposed to other BRs where engagement increases the chances for better loot. Sven says, oh, you're a new Warzone player? No worries, that SMG meta that you just got destroyed with can be created if you spend $70 in Vanguard and grind out all the weapon XP there. Right, Sven was talking about this morning that like the Warzone loadout system, it basically funnels people into playing in really, really bizarre ways where you've got to go to this game, grind the modes, grind the weapons, then you come back, you build your god tier loadout, and now you're good to go. Cool shirt. Thank you. It's a old school Nintendo Kung Fu shirt. If you want to get this one from 80s Tees, use that shirt command. Remember, anytime you go to 80stees.com to use my code Lono for 30% off. Gang says, I'll die on the hill of needing loadouts. I understand why people want it gone, but on a personal level, I think loadouts should stay. Let me use my maxed out M4. What's tactical about hitting a buy station, says Creature. Quiet Shy says, smash a like button, chat. Yeah, we're going to have to carry this stream on our back. This is not the last week and a half. We've had a much different experience at the beginning of a stream, so we're going to have to do some legwork here. I would have been interested to try Warzone with no loadout. Loadouts take away from the idea of high-value loot, like just get cash and buy the most valuable for 10K, says Rob V. You can buy your M4. Right, but you have to buy, like, the way I understand, we don't actually know how it's going to work now, Casey, because according to the Warzone 2 leaks, they've not said how loadouts are coming back, right? They've not really said it. They just, like, when the Call of Duty pros were getting flown out to start playing Modern Warfare 2 and Warzone 2, it was very clear the feedback was just right down the middle different. Everyone was saying that Modern Warfare 2 was amazing and that they had recaptured what made that game so great, and people were absolutely dogging on Warzone. They were like, it's garbage, it's terrible, it's bad. I mean, it was very consistent. Creature and I remember we were looking for coverage, we were looking for stories. We were consistently finding headlines that, like, Modern Warfare 2 was getting amazing early feedback and Warzone 2 was getting absolutely crapped on. People did not like it. Now, that could be related to everything that we're talking about, right? Warzone loadouts, you had perks, they had AI on the map. Like, there was lots of negative feedback surrounding Warzone 2.0 whenever those guys came back from playing. I understand keeping them in for leveling for guns, but, like, I was looking forward to more traditional Battle Royale, said Narwaffle. Colin says tactical equals camping until you find cash in my mind. No need to storm high-tier loot zones. And listen, there's good and bad there, is there not, Colin? Isn't there good and bad there? Right now, and when you want to play a battle royale and you want to do well, you have to take all this risk in the early game, and it can be pretty frustrating. You got to do a hot drop, you got to go to a town, you got to get all this loot, and then by the time you're done doing that, then some guy kills you, hiding in a building. When you can play a game and on your own either win those early fights or stretch drop or play camping, right? You're going to play sneaky, hidey, campy because you're trying to get money so that then you can buy a loadout. That alleviates some of the early game headaches that people hate about battle royales. I'm not saying one's better than the other. I'm saying this is likely, maybe, one of the reasons that Warzone was so popular. It let people say, I'm tired of dropping and having to spend all this time looting, and then the minute I go engage in a fight, I die anyway because somebody got better loot than me, somebody had a better kit than me. I'd rather spend my time getting money, buy a loadout that I know is my favorite, and now if I die, it's on me, right? I played poorly, they're a better player, maybe they're cheating, whatever. The looting via a menu versus just picking stuff off the ground is a little concerning. That's one reason I don't like Apex. Yeah, Rob V, apparently that's another thing that's changing. Apparently, they got so much bad feedback on Warzone 2 that a lot of those things are changing. They're just like ditching some of those ideas. No loadouts offers a more even playing field, says Sven. All these top creators want a legit ranked mode in Warzone. That happens without loadouts and OP meta builds. Right. Again, I think the challenge is that when you go with a traditional battle royale format, you're always going to have people feeling that sting of I can't get good loot, right? I can't get good loot. And I think when someone feels that way, they don't necessarily feel as if they want to commit and keep trying. Loadouts and unlocks creates this idea of, look, man, if you keep playing, you'll have better stuff. You'll be able to get into a better lane. It creates a trajectory. I'm not saying it's better. It certainly has its pitfalls because new players come in, they get to the middle of the match, and they might be losing fights because of loadouts, not because of like, oh, you just had bad luck or oh, you just had a bad drop, right? Having a bad drop, you kind of shrug about it. You're like, oh, unlucky, let me drop again. My love for loadouts is almost entirely removed from competitive play, but I still think I'd like it. I hate having to manually change every piece of what I'm carrying in God of War and Fallout 4. So, yeah, I think you're hearing loadouts and you're picturing something different in your mind. So, traditionally, the way a battle royale works is you drop and you're busting through doors and scouring through houses and barns and buildings, and you're like, okay, here's an M4. Okay, here's an SMG. You're just picking stuff up. And then they started adding attachments. You're like, okay, I can throw this red dot on my M4. Oh, I have an extended mag for my M4. Oh, I'm getting loot. And then when you fight somebody, they're doing the same thing. So whatever they have is completely determined by what they found, what was randomly strewn about on the ground, and same goes for you. And there are people that both love that and hate that. They're like, that's RNG, it's random, it's luck-based. I don't want to play a game like that. So there's many people that avoid battle royales or play battle royales literally because of that, okay? So contrast that to the Warzone loadout system. So Call of Duty Warzone, you drop and there's money that's popping out of people and boxes. So you're running around buildings and you're popping up these boxes and you're getting money. Once you get to a certain amount of money, you can go to a little thing and you can say, all right, give me my loadout. And your loadout is something you've pre-built. It's got the guns you want, the attachments that you want, the perks that you want. So all of a sudden, you're no longer running around with, some scuffed build that you're really angry about. You've got your kit. Guys, could we get 200 likes on the video? This is the slowest start we've had in about 2 weeks. I am not sure what's going on. YouTube's experimenting with stuff. This should be a banger of a topic. So let's hit 200 likes. It will help more people get in here and find the video. Shirt you're wearing was the very first game I ever owned on the Nintendo system. They let me swap out Duck Hunt for that game. Oh, no way. Yeah. I've got this one, and then I have Excite Bike. I've got two, classic Nintendo shirts that I can wear. That sounds sweet to me. Random items drives me nuts. Okay, so the big dividing line of debate about Warzone loadouts is it creates problems. What happens is the middle of the game, everybody's buying loadouts. So the end of the game no longer feels like that chaotic, oh man, I can't believe I won that fight. I can't believe I won, I can't believe I won that battle. I had such a scuffed build. That narrative is gone now. There's no longer a narrative. There's no longer this tension. It's everybody's running meta builds. Everybody knows what the best build is. Everybody knows what the best gun and attachments and combinations are. Everybody knows that, okay? So people started to express frustration with that. It feels a little bit like a meat grinder. That's kind of what happens in the more traditional game modes, like in Modern Warfare 2. What's going to happen? Everybody's going to find out what the best gun is, the best attachments, and then everybody's going to run that. You're going to be getting killed, and, I don't know, 80% of the time, it's going to be a Lockman SMG or something. That's, that seemed to be the trend in the beta. So that's kind of grabbing that meat grinder predictable meta and shoving it into a battle royale. It also, not only does it create that element, it also is unwelcoming to newer players. They don't have the unlocks, they don't have the guns, and typically a battle royale is do the best you can. It's an even playing field. Get in here and grab what you can and try to win. Well, some guy that does that, and then he gets to the end game, and some kitted, this guy's kitted out of his mind because he's got everything unlocked and he's got the best loadout and the best build, shoots him and just annihilates him. He's like, and his gun's like a laser beam. And the other guy's like, man, I'm just running with the stuff that I found on the ground. It creates an unwelcoming environment to new players. Now, you don't necessarily need to craft every game, every decision, and every mechanic to new players, but you've got to consider new players if you want to make money and you want to be successful. You can't stiff arm them out of the game. Sven says, I just don't understand why they want to market Warzone 2 as a completely standalone game from Modern Warfare 2 if they are going to allow you to carry your loadouts from Modern Warfare 2. This was something that Creature said. Creature said, isn't one of the problems with connecting all these games is it creates all this spaghetti code and all these problems and all this frustration. Oh, you got to go over there and you do this and you unlock that and then you come back over here. It's like, why not just have a self-contained game? It is siloed within a launcher maybe, right? You like open up Call of Duty and you're like, well, do I want to go into Warzone 2 or do I want to go into Modern Warfare 2? They'd still be in the same launcher potentially, but like why connect them since that seemingly caused so many problems before? As a pretty avid BR player, says Cool Spoon, I don't like the loadouts. It feels like they cut against the whole premise of a battle royale. I still think PUBG is the best BR out, and in my opinion, nothing else comes close to the experience. That said, loadouts are kind of what made Warzone different, so what if we just had two modes, one with loadouts and one without? We made our own prediction a while ago that they would have a loadout funnel and a non-loadout funnel, and we would kind of see where that would go. Obviously, they would encourage new players to go into the no loadout funnel and be like, hey, this is a more traditional battle royale experience. It's going to be totally random. You're going to be picking stuff up off the ground, and you're not going to be facing anybody with some god tier, loadout that they're going to crush you with, right? So if you guys are just tuning in, do me a favor, take the poll at the top of the chat. For Warzone 2, do you think loadout should return? Do me a favor, while you're taking my poll, go ahead and also smash the like button. Let's aim for 200 likes. We are already nearing 200 likes, and we appreciate you being here. We cover all kinds of different gaming news, and we appreciate the Call of Duty Warzone fans for coming in. We covered Modern Warfare 2 a lot and had a huge success with that. A little surprising that we are not seeing a lot of those brand new subs coming in here. If you were one of the people that started watching me through Modern Warfare 2 coverage, I'd love to hear from you. The kill racers are also complaining about the 3 circle at the end. Why not get Why not get rife of that too? I'm not sure what you're trying to say at the end there. Is it my internet or am I getting little hitches in today's stream? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything on my end. It might be your internet, Sven. Nobody else is saying anything, and the viewership seems okay. Get rid. Oh, get rid. Can we get 9 more likes? So you're saying, okay, hang on. Let me reread what you said then. The kill racers are also complaining about the 3 circles at the end. Why not get rid of that too? Oh, what you're saying is just because people are providing negative feedback, like let's just get rid of every change that they made. Right. Eugene says the loadout system seems boring too. Playing hundreds of games the same way with the same loadouts, no variety, no excitement in getting your preferred weapon, no satisfaction from success without it. Yeah, I think there's 2 mindsets on it, Eugene. I think there's folks like you that are like, that's kind of boring, that's kind of predictable. You're just shoving meta gaming into a battle royale. Like, we all know there's meta gaming in battle royales. Like, when you get a certain weapon, you're like, oh, this is the one, and you're going to keep it till the end because you know it's strong and you know it's going to help you win, right? Like, that's not uncommon for people to do, you know, in a battle royale. But then you're not necessarily guaranteed that weapon every game. 510 Live, if you could not use all caps, it's a little obnoxious. I already deleted one of your comments because I literally thought you were a bot. I thought you were spamming my chat like as a bot. No point in loadouts when COD always boils down to 1 or 2 meta weapons. Right, and some people would say that yes, it always boils down to 1 or 2 weapons, but it matters and is more exciting when those weapons are randomly found, right? It creates a narrative. It creates a tenseness. It creates an excitement of, oh, I've got this great weapon, instead of, I've got enough money, I'll just go buy it, right? Loadouts do 2 things. 1, it makes ground loot useless, and 2, it just takes a BR and makes it team deathmatch. Digga says, come on, hit that like. That's right, man. Pulling teeth on the likes. Espionage. I just asked another person in chat to not use all caps. I need you guys to not do that, please. If everybody did that in chat, it would be so obnoxious. Please don't do that. I'm trying not to be like micromanagey streamer, but we like to keep the chat flowing, and all caps is a little much. I'll answer your question. What would you like to see Infinity Ward do differently with Call of Duty Warzone? I actually think they were going in a good direction with making some of the changes that they're talking about, but I think they're running the risk of losing their identity. Like, let's just say you don't like the loadout system. I don't mean this in a mean way. Maybe you should just go play a BR that doesn't have loadouts then, right? Now, somebody might say, well, that's why we need 2 modes, because there's those of us that love Call of Duty, and we just want to play a Call of Duty Warzone BR and not have loadouts. Well, okay, I think that's fair, but I also think it's fair to say something that might account for the popularity of Call of Duty Warzone is they gave Call of Duty fans something that feels like Call of Duty. Does that make sense? They've essentially said, hey, you love COD. Yep, loadouts, attachments, you always have the things that you like, right? Well, that's in our BR. You just have to get enough money in a game to buy it. Like, I'm not saying it should be there. I'm not saying, right, it has to not be there. What I'm saying is this kind of makes it stand out. It's one of its identity markers. It's something that people are seemingly enjoying. I'm back, had to be a brat on TikTok. Also agree, COD has their own vibe with the loadout. Right. It creates, I again am saying 2 modes is probably the way to go. My common refrain these days, making a matchmaking option, loadouts or no, choice to the player, says Derek. The only thing you run the risk of is fracturing your player base. If you have too many options, you can fragment the player base and it can be bad for matchmaking. I happen to think that Warzone 2 is not going to be like lacking in players, you know, so let people pick what they want, okay? Because, listen, I'll be honest, I bet you there's some of you that really, really love loadouts that would probably go to the non-loadouts playlist sometimes because you get freaking sick of it. You'd be like, this is just such a predictable meta. It's such a meat grinder. Everybody's using the same weapons. Everybody's using the same attachments. And when that got a little annoying, you would go to the more traditional mode, right? I'm a BR purist, says Hex. If loadouts are being included, is it really a BR? That's where some people land on it, Hex. Exactly. It's not fair to say just leave it as it is and not make changes yet. Let us give it a shot, and in a few months, if the Gen Pop doesn't like it, then make the change. Jake, here's the issue with what you're saying, okay? Because there's a part of me that agrees with you. Because there's a huge difference between Modern Warfare 2 feedback and Warzone 2 feedback. Look at the way that they're handling MW2. They're like, right? This is the way that it is. We made changes to the minimap. We made changes to Dead Silence. And they're like, that's the way it is. That's what we're doing. They're standing by their decisions. It is a little concerning that they got feedback on Warzone 2.0 and they're like, oh man, we better walk all these decisions back. Now, I think another way to look at that though is so many people were saying the same thing. Like, they got such negative feedback about Warzone 2 that maybe they decided this could be really bad for the game. Like, everybody's saying the same thing. And if they're all saying the same thing, that's a microcosm of the player base. That means our player base is going to say, dude, this sucks. Get this out of my face. I don't like this. There's bots everywhere. I can't get my loadouts. I can't get my perks. I don't like this. Why are they making changes to something that we haven't baited? So, Chris, the universal feedback from basically everybody who went and got to play the game early, it was all pretty negative. They literally had people come out and they said, we want to know what you think about this. How does it affect game flow? How does it affect combat flow? How does it affect the map? How does it affect the game? Like, if you're going to make these kind of ground level decisions and changes, you kind of have to let people engage with it and say, oh yeah, thumbs up, thumbs down, here's where you could make adjustments. Distorted says a feature of every BR is drop in and find loot to try to survive and win. The rush of getting good loot or better loot than someone else and then killing them and scavenging their loot is part of the soul of a BR. That's another element that's missing with this system is, are you even looting anybody other than for what, like armor? Along with loadouts, says Cool Spoon, buybacks or respawns, I feel that they encourage thirsting for kills that otherwise wouldn't happen and that it lessens the impact of losing a teammate. And I have friends who usually hate BRs, but they liked Warzone due to loadouts. This made it a good middle ground for us to play. See what I'm saying? Do you see what I'm saying? I think Warzone's popularity could be, in part, attributed to loadouts. I'm not saying that's the only reason it was popular. I'm saying that could be part of the reason. I want you to picture a player funnel of Call of Duty players. What are they accustomed to? What are they used to? Well, you drop them on a big, giant map where everything's random, and they might be saying, man, I just want to use the MP5, or I just want to use the UMP, or I just want to use the M4, and I can't find one. Right? They're not used to that idea. This idea that, like, yeah, man, just find whatever's on the ground, bro. And so they bring to the Battle Royale something that kind of feels a little bit faithful to Call of Duty. It's not surprising to me that they did this, because to me, it honestly feels like they took the Call of Duty loadout system from the arena and they just brought it to the BR. 510 Live says three circles that still move slow as blank. Bots, faux visual recoil instead of actual recoil patterns, lackluster UI, UX updates. What is actually new or good about this game? Lamau. Yeah, I mean, did you get to play it, 510? Sounds like you got to play it. A lot of people seemingly did not like the three circles. They're like, no, I don't like that. That seems to be another complaint. This is always where these games exist, right? If they iterate too much, the core audience says this sucks and it feels like a completely different game. If they don't iterate enough, everyone says feels like the exact same game. Doesn't feel like they changed anything. Say you're running in the BR and you snag the coin to buy your best loadout. From then, how long to win the game? It sounds to me like most people are buying their loadouts in the middle of the match. It's about mid-game. It's roughly a mid-game thing. And then that influences Final Circle because everybody's going into Final Circle and Final Fights with their choice God tier kit. I mean, no crap, influencers like JGod didn't like Warzone 2.0 removing features. The guy makes revenue from making loadout-focused content. I mean, I'm sure there are content creators who have a bit of a bias, and that bias is affecting their criticism. But it also seemed like anybody who touched the game came back and said, yeah, this is not that great. Without loadouts, would it not slow down the game flow and cause people to loot for longer? No action. Well, this is another thing that people would probably say, Paul. They would probably say, one of the best things about loadouts is once I have my loadout and I win a couple of fights, I only have to loot for a couple of things and I can move on. The BR rhythm of, man, my kit is scuffed, and then every time you win a fight, you got to spend all this time looking at loot, trying to make your loadout better, trying to make your kit better. There's a lot of people that probably don't like that. That feels like a flat tire to them. They're like, my gosh, I don't want to do that, right? I want to just win my fight and move on. Again, you have to consider it's like they're trying to build a BR for Call of Duty players. Call of Duty players are not going to want to do that. They're not going to be like, oh, I want to fight. It's time to look at a menu. Oh, is this gun better? Is that attachment better? They don't want to do that. They want to just keep going. They want to run and gun. Make ground loot worth it, says Eugene. Simplify the attachments and the optics available. It would make balancing easier too. Distorted says, I literally stopped playing Warzone because loadouts are the most stupid idea I've seen in a BR. And I've played BRs where you get turned into a frickin' chicken. Oh, was that Realm Royale? We're nearing 300 votes on the poll. If you guys haven't taken our poll yet, Warzone 2 loadout system, should it return, yes or no? Split pretty much down the middle, 55 to 45%. While you're taking that poll, give us a like as we near 300 votes. It'd be great to have 300 likes as well. Clicking like is free, and so is subscribing. Once you hit subscribe, you can talk in my chat. We are very close to 3,000 members here on this channel. We did unlock Lono Crazy yesterday, a new emote, so we hit 2,800 members. If we hit 3,000 before Friday night, my wife is going to also have to dance in the Just Dance stream. I am not looking forward to that stream, but I would love to challenge her and see who's the better dancer. But we'll only do that if we hit 3,000. If not, you just get me. Why not just drop in with a loadout, start off kitted, and the best person wins? So the problem with that, Silent Warrior, is all you're doing is King of the Hill. Like, you're just taking a classic Modern Warfare 2 Call of Duty thing, and you're just throwing it on a big map, right? Like, I think you're being facetious, right? Like, Silent Warrior is pointing out one of the pitfalls of the loadout system. It's like, okay, cool. You have your favorite loadout, and instead of playing on a small map, you're playing on a big map. Like, what the frick difference is it? That doesn't feel like a BR, right? Yeah, that's just ground war with elimination enabled. Like, oh, yep, you're eliminated. I agree with Eugene, says Colin. The issue with loadouts for me is based around the scope of the looting system. So many attachments, weapons, perks, etc. all awarded with a single loadout purchase. If it was simpler, then I would have less of an issue. Warzone player counts tell you a huge population don't want to spend half of a match looting because it is boring. See, Sinos is drilling down on what I'm trying to communicate to you. I am not defending the loadout system. I actually see a lot of its flaws, and I find it to be a pretty significant turnoff. However, Warzone's been massively popular with the Call of Duty audience. Do you think loadouts played a part? I'm not saying that it's one of the strongest reasons, but I'm saying it's a reason. Apex and Fortnite don't have loadout systems, and those matches aren't considered boring. But Sven, he's talking about the player base that has flocked to and continued to play Warzone. Those might be the players that look at Apex and Fortnite and do think it's boring, and do hate picking up loot and losing to RNG. I'm not saying Apex and Fortnite are boring. What I'm saying is Sinos is driving at the point I'm trying to drive at. The player base that has flocked to Warzone may have a strong disdain for traditional BR. And that's one of the reasons, potentially, that Call of Duty Warzone has been so popular, because the Call of Duty fan base is pretty big. It's bigger than Fortnite's fan base. It's bigger than Apex's fan base. And making those people happy is part of the business strategy. It is. It's part of the business strategy, right? You've got to make sure that these people are enjoying the game. Apex is a hero shooter. The hero you pick is a loadout. No. Apex heroes are not an equivalent to a loadout. They have abilities and ults, but the primary thing that kills people in Apex are guns and buletes. The bullets are what's killing everybody in that game. I have a thought, says Snow. The player base is usually ex-military. Isn't predictability healthy for their mental health? Just another viewpoint. That is, I don't know how much of a percentage they make of the player base, but that is possible that, yeah, they RNG grates against their mission control planning strategy, right? Guys, we are having a great turnout today. Thank you, everybody, for being here. If you're enjoying my coverage, show me that by clicking the like button. If you've never been here before, welcome to Reforge Gaming. We are talking about Warzone 2 loadouts. According to a leaker, they're returning. They were originally going to be removed from the game, but it seems they're back. We're discussing, should they come back? Are they good or bad for the Battle Royale? Are they good or are they bad for Warzone? What soldier drops into a battle unprepared? Right, and that could be another element to this. I don't think not wanting to loot is a good excuse to want loadouts. It's part of the core of the BR in general. Do I think loadouts are what makes Warzone popular? No, I think it's a Call of Duty name. Well, I'm going to borrow from Paul's comment. Paul's comment here. Don't you think that when Apex Legends descended on the BR scene, there were people concerned about having classes and abilities in a Battle Royale? Like, from Jump Street, when you drop in to Apex, you have abilities and other people don't, right? You don't, like, you see what I'm saying? There's other people, like, don't you think that people thought that about Apex? That didn't take long, Lamau. Who are you referring to? We have to remember, Battle Royale is a glorified daycare system across all games for casuals and the chubby cheek demographic. What the frick? I love that you support the doc. I mean, I love the doc, but I don't think that's the demographic that plays these games, man. I don't think so. You have a meta hero pick in Apex, it still does matter. Right, what I'm saying, Paul, is there's a better point for you to make. You're not making the good point. You're making a weak false equivalency point. You could make a better argument. You could say people accepted heroes in Apex Legends, and there are meta heroes. There are tectonic shifts in the Apex Legends meta because of the heroes, and that's not in the spirit of an RNG BR because you pick it before you go in. That's a better point, Paul. You're sniffing around a really good point, and you're making a bad one. Loadouts in Call of Duty Warzone are not equal or equivalent to a hero in Apex. They're from the same family of influence. They're cousins. Basically, loadouts are for lazy... Oh, stop. Loadouts make Modern Warfare... makes Warzone a unique BR, says Nova. If they're getting significant player engagement in such a competitive game space, I see no reason why they should mess with the recipe. I think that's part of the decision-making, Nova. I do. I think part of the decision-making is, listen, this has made your game special. This has made your game a safe haven in a sea of RNG. We're rhyming today. In a sea of RNG Battle Royales, Warzone felt like a safe haven from all that nonsense. I could come over here, have a good start, and then get my loadout. And have guns that I'm comfortable with, have movement perks, attachments and things that I like. Instead of being like, well, that game sucked, I got bad weapons. Well, that game sucked, I got bad weapons, right? Holy Moses. Online MVP says, look, we're going to get 3,000 members for Friday night if I have to do it myself. 20 gifted members. You may have just gotten a membership. That means for the next month, you have access to my members-only Discord and my members-only talk show that I do every day of the week. Monday through Friday, we do a members-only talk show at the end of the day. It's a great reason to spend $5 and jump in as a member. And online MVP just made it so a bunch of people don't even have to do that. It's been gifted to you. 510 Live, Misfit Headquarters, Tactical Shot, Ninja. Is that Ninja? Ninja, is that you? No, he's probably streaming. Eric Chabdra, Freezy Pop, Ragav, Zachary, Adam, Jamesy Boy, Gabriel, Vices, Igrave, Hashun, Porthanax, Grizzly Bears, Brian Edwards, Benneth Moore, On the Moon 4R, and Nizorn. You guys all got gifted members. We are like a couple hundred members away from hitting a massive milestone of 3,000 members. You'll unlock another emote, and then again, don't forget this Friday night is I have to play Just Dance, and I don't want to, but I have to. The goal was 2,500. You guys smashed it. Now if we hit 3,000, we'll see who the better dancer is on Friday nights. My wife will have to dance as well. We'll compete. You missed it. Hey, if you want to get a gifted membership, be here as often as you can. Your loyalty to the channel and the videos is what contributes to it. Be here, be in chat, be active, be talking, be liking, all those things. Fireman says, every time I jump into Fortnite with my son, I'm bored out of my mind for the first 10 minutes of a match because I have to hope to get lucky looting. I want to jump into a battle. Distorted replies and says, unique. Oh, he's replying to somebody else. Unique does not equate to better or even good at all. I think it's the Call of Duty name that makes people flock to the game, not loadouts. What is popular to like will bring followers. Here's the thing, though, Distorted. I think you are underestimating. Right, Sick Shirt. Thank you, Screw. If you guys like my classic vintage Nintendo shirt, always remember to use my code over there on 80s Tees. That's where my shirts always come from. So I'm gonna push back on what you're saying, Distorted. I think you are grossly underestimating the Call of Duty community, how big it is, and how loadouts are quite literally crafted for the COD mentality, right? I can't look at loadouts. I cannot look at Warzone loadouts and not say that's handcrafted for COD heads. It is. It's handcrafted for them. They're coming from Fortnite and PUBG and saying, bro, you put my favorite weapon in my hands and I'm going to throw down. I'm sick of this crap. I'm losing games because I got a pistol, or I'm losing games because I got some rifle that I hate, right? I'm not saying they're correct. I'm giving that perspective and saying, I think that perspective is significant in the community. I do. I think they're saying, look, bro, if I want to play some randy-dandy game where I get a scuffed build in a building and this guy gets a god-tier build in a building and we fight in the first 60 seconds and that's why I lose, if I want to have that experience, I'll go play PUBG. I'll go play Fork Knife. Like, that's what they're saying. The Call of Duty Warzone offers me something different. I can strategize, I can get my money, and I can get my loadout. Are they right? Does it make it better? That's subjective to the player. And if Infinity Ward or whoever's in charge of Warzone 2, if they're determining and concluding based on player feedback, this is going to be detrimental to our player funnel. There are so many people that are going to buck up against this and be like, it's just another battle royale now. I don't want to play this. That's going to be bad for their player funnel. It's going to be bad for their player numbers, and fundamentally, it's bad for their bottom line. No loadouts would offer a level playing field and allow RNG to do its thing. Watch all the creators squirm if loadouts don't exist. Right, but Sven, what you are saying is correct. It's not about whether or not what you're saying is correct. It's about whether or not that would be bad for player numbers. Does that make sense? You can be technically correct and still be making a tactical error. Primal with a $10 tip through Super Chat. Loadouts are good because you can make your own to personalization, but do you have a team like FaZe or Optic? Would you ever stream with, say, a new streamer? If you have a team like FaZe or Optic, would you ever stream with, say, a new streamer? I mean, homie, I'm a talk show host. I don't have anything to do with FaZe or Optic. I mean, I play sometimes on Friday nights with the community for members and throw back some beers, buddy. I don't. you are not in some Codhead clan Call of Duty stream. That's not where you are. You're in Reforge Gaming. It's a daily talk show about gaming topics. I've been playing COD since the first game came out. Some of these young little whippersnappers that want to come in here and talk to me like they know. They don't know, okay? I was there when COD was born, okay? Don't cite the old magic to me. But I'm not in a clan. I'm not in an org or anything like that, my friend. I'm not. You still spawn with just a pistol. From what Lono has said, it sounds like you spawn with the loadout. No, Reese's Vids, no. Okay, so those of you that are unfamiliar with the Warzone loadout system, let me outline it for you. You need money to buy your loadout. So your loadout is predetermined. You've unlocked everything, you've played enough, you've done enough, and you've got your gun, your attachments, your perks. It's not in your hands at the beginning of the game, though. You need money. Money's in boxes. Money comes out of players, okay? So, many people stretch, drop, hide, loot, and get their loadout. So, loadouts are mid and end game affecting because you get to that mid to end game point, and that's where all the butter happens. That's where all the big fights happens. That's where the game's hinge is turning. The first 5 minutes is a freaking bloodbath, right? Hot drops and nonsense, and then everybody's dead, right? The mid to late game is the hinge turn of a battle royale. That's where all of the big things happen, okay? Even the best players can hot drop and get smoked, okay? Okay, even the best players. So, that's why people like it, and that's why people don't like it. Because it basically turns mid to late game into a everybody's got their loadouts. Yo, oh man, Rodriguez, Ezequiel. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm not familiar with how to pronounce that one. That one's tough. I think they only need to give the weapons, no perks, just that. I feel comfortable with my guns. I'm okay with getting it from a special box. Thank you for the $5 tip, Mr. Rodriguez. It's like Ezekiel. I'm butchering that. I know I'm butchering that. I usually am decent with those pronunciations, but dadgummit, I am not doing a good job. From what I understood, you can now buy your own individual guns instead of a loadout. Yeah, it's not. This is, as Eugene is saying, it's not just guns. It's everything. It's perks. It's attachments. It's a loadout. You can still buy a single weapon in Warzone 2.0 from buy stations. It's just not a loadout system. Yes. That's why some people are taking an issue with it. They're worried that people are just going to camp the buy stations because, you know, Nerd Mother says you always get my name wrong. How on earth do I get that name wrong? Distorted says the Battle Royale concept and what it emulates existed before it ever came to video games, and it has followed that since it started. And its core premise of BR, otherwise you're just playing one life big team battle. I don't think you've appropriately responded, Distorted, to what Apex brought to the game. Don't you think when Apex came out, a lot of people said, are you kidding me? I pick a hero beforehand? It's a battle royale. What do you mean I'm going to have powers? What do you mean I'm going to have an ult? What do you mean I'm going to have a class? What are you talking about? That's not RNG. That's not random. Camping buy stations is certainly a thing. I mean, people camp loadout drops. Well, yeah, but that's random. That's not predetermined, is it? Yeah, you know everyone's coming there, right? I don't care about perks, but own guns are a must-have. Otherwise, I can turn on PUBG or Fortnite. See, that's what, yeah, what Patrick is saying. It's, you know, it's pronounced N-erd-mother. Yeah. People already camp loadouts and buys anyway, says Screw. The word loadout drops. Oh, the world loadout drops are not predetermined. No, the location of them at least. Oh. But the buy stations are, right? So the loadout drops are not predetermined, but buy stations are predetermined, are they not? And people will camp those. Aren't those two different things? Abilities aren't the same as curating your entire loadout, both weapons, all the perfect attachments you want, all your grenades, all your perks. It's ridiculous in a BR no matter how you look at it. Listen, Distorted. You are not incorrect, but that doesn't matter if the player base is responding to it and wants it. Because fundamentally, at the end of the day, Call of Duty Warzone is not beholden to a rigid BR definition. They are beholden to their consumers. And if the consumers respond negatively to this choice, which will then threaten income, revenue, profit, and their bottom line, they will 100% do the loadout system. The presence of the loadout system in Warzone undoubtedly has played a role in the Call of Duty community at large enjoying the game. You not enjoying it is not wrong, but when you look at the player base numbers, the success, and how much money it's made, it's undeniable that they've gotten some kind of a secret sauce right. They want it because they already have it. It's the path of least resistance. You give lazy people a way to be lazy, they will take it. I think you're attributing laziness to something that we've always attributed to a survival instinct. Taking the path of least resistance is not lazy. It's the height of animal instinctive intelligence, right? So is a lion lazy when it chases down and takes the weakest of the herd and kills and eats the weakest of the herd? Is that lion lazy? Are we going to say a lion's lazy? Or are we going to say a lion is surviving and thriving as an apex predator because it takes the path of least resistance? Taking down a baby wildebeest is easier than taking down a full-grown male or female wildebeest. Like, it's not a laziness. It's built into us. It's hardwired into us. Welfare Rockstar with a $5 tip. Yeah, that might be a bad example because the females hunt and the males don't, right? Cheetahs do it, lions do it, tigers do it, right? Big cats and apex predators, they do that. They take the path of least resistance. That's not lazy. Yeah, I forgot that male lions actually don't hunt. They just kind of lounge around. They're like, bring me my food. Welfare Rockstar with a $5 tip says, COD Blackout had ground loot more like the system that Apex had. No loadouts, and in my opinion, it was way better. I think they're going to offer the mode choice then, right? Right? Guys, could we get 25 more likes on the vid? Come on, we got almost 400 people here. Let's roll the like count over before the first hour hits. We're almost through the first hour of the broadcast. Lions are famously lazy. Have you learned nothing from Sir Attenborough? Right, but the point I was making was, forget that I brought up male lions for a second. The point I was making is when you look at apex predators and when they hunt, okay, when they hunt, they go for the weakest of the pack because it's the path of least resistance. If an apex predator is hunting, they go for the weak, because that's a more guaranteed dinner. You know what I'm saying? It's instinctive. It's not laziness. Laziness is I'm not going to do it. I don't want to do it. I don't want to move. I'm just going to lay here. And well, they would die. Of course, if you offer people what they consider their vision of the best possible loot in the entire game and make it basically guaranteed accessible, of course they will choose that over having loot. I think you're misdiagnosing it, Distorted. I think your diagnosis is based on your distaste for it. You're projecting onto it negativity. Like, you're making it like, well, of course they're going to pick the best possible loot. They're mindless and lazy, and they're choosing the path of least resistance. No. From where I sit, my diagnosis of this is they took the classic COD experience and they shoved it into a BR, and the Call of Duty community responded positively to it. You don't think you are at all? Oh, you definitely are. Your language is charged and negative. You don't like it. You're allowed to not like it. You're allowed to criticize it. I think it makes your diagnosis wonky. You're acting like this is only popular because people are lazy and they want the best weapons and they choose the path of least resistance. Your position is literally that people are people. Like, what the frick? Of course people are going to choose the best weapons. That's not a statement that's drenched in any intelligent observation. It's just people are people. People are people. Yeah, they're going to pick the strongest weapon. Of course. A $5 tip from Screw. By that logic, Gulag isn't true BR, right? So why single out Loadies? There's plenty of things that have been added to BRs over the years that are not traditional to BRs, whether it's the class system in Apex or the Gulag in Warzone. I'm not saying loadouts are good. I'm saying loadouts exist for a reason and you're missing the forest for the trees. You are thinking people like it because they're lazy. People like it because they're weak. People like it because they're going to crutch. No. People like it because it feels like Call of Duty. It's a super long-standing franchise with the biggest audience, like what the third largest audience in existence. Okay? So, you do something that feels like Call of Duty and people are gonna like it. You take something away that feels like Call of Duty and people are not going to like it. That's what it is. I'm definitely biased, but everything I've said is fighting against that bias. My language and wording would be much worse of what I think about the people that like it if I were going off. I 1,000,000% agree. That's what I'm saying. I don't think this is going away. Hey guys, we just hit 1 hour on the broadcast. Come on, give me 300 likes. We need 5 more likes. We gotta start hitting that like button. So you can buy your custom weapon still. To be honest, the new system is not that bad. Okay, hang on. So this is information. A new and impressive array of ground loot and adjustments on how to access the store to store them. One of the biggest innovations is expanding yet streamlining your purchasing within a match. This comes courtesy of the shop. These enhanced buy stations serve locations to buy and upgrade equipment and weapons, including the custom weapons you created before dropping in. Here are some actions that you can complete at the shop. Squad mate buyback. Just like in Call of Duty Warzone, you're able to buy back a teammate after they've been taken down either in combat or failed to return from the all-new Gulag. Buy gear. Just like the function of the original buy station, you can purchase equipment such as gas masks, kill streaks, armor, and more. Limited equipment. Some items are likely to be limited in number, and once purchased, they are gone from the shop. Buy weapon. Prior to a match, your main preparation and focus on creating a number of custom weapons for the next match in Al-Mazrah. Your purchase of these custom weapons from here. Note that this takes place of the full loadout. Custom weapons are constructed in the gunsmith and then brought here. They take up your weapon slots, tacticals, and lethals, and are very common ground loot. Perks will not be available in Call of Duty Warzone 2 at launch. Okay. Here's the deal. What are you reading? Paul found a snapshot from somewhere about how it works. Is that official on the COD? It's a COD blog. So that's an official Call of Duty blog. So, trash take L plus ratio. How are you going to L ratio somebody live streaming? What in the frick? Like, do you just type that when you're angry? You know what I'm saying? Do you try that on Twitter and no one ever sees your tweets? Do you know what that means? Anyway, it sounds to me like people are overreacting. It sounds like people are overreacting because you're still going to be able to buy your amazing gun. You've got your gun, you've got your unlocks, you've got your favorite weapon kitted out. You're still going to be able to buy it at buy stations. But because you can't buy your whole dadgum loadout, that's suddenly a problem? You know what I'm saying? That suddenly is an issue because you can't get your perks, you can't get everything from the buy station. So you'll still end up with the gun that you want. We figured out why Modern Warfare 2 talks were so pleasant. All the toxic went to Warzone. Creature thought that was going to be an issue. He's like, I think all the toxic people hang out in Warzone. It might be why we're not having the greatest, strongest turnout. I think I told Creature this last night. I think there's a ton of people that came back to Modern Warfare 2 and they're not watching the big COD YouTubers, so their profile on YouTube is pure, and they found me. The people that are like deep into Warzone, they're watching all the big boys. They're watching all the big guys, so they're never going to find me. Their little feed on YouTube, their homepage, their subscription feed, it's already full, chock full of COD coverage. I think that's why Modern Warfare 2, I think that's why we had such great coverage and such great response. Because I think a ton of people are coming back to Call of Duty with Modern Warfare 2, and they found me because they've not been watching COD content on YouTube, so their feed on YouTube is more pure. It's not as cluttered. I imagine Overwatch 2 coverage next week will be a banger. Yep, I don't know if I'm gonna bother covering that. I do think the format they're going with the unlocking and charging money for heroes and stuff, that might be a spicy one, but I'm not really an Overwatch guy. I have played COD a bunch, and that's why I have an inroad to talk about it. If you guys all personally like loadouts, that's great and all. Given the opportunity to be given your full kit you feel most comfortable and best with makes sense. I just don't think it should be in the game. Oh, it should be an option to begin with. Right. So it sounds like me, though. It sounds to me like you can still get your favorite gun. You just can't get your entire loadout kit, right? You can't get your loadout kit. And I think that in general, there's many people who are looking at this and just immediately concluding that this is broken, this is busted, this is bad, I'm not going to be able to get the thing that I want. It's like, well, that's not necessarily true. You will be able to get your favorite weapon. You'll be able to get your favorite, attachments and everything, but you won't be able to get a fully kitted loadout with perks and stuff. My perspective way over here, for Battle Royale to remain viable as a long-term genre of games, having this kind of variety is what different BRs offers is important. If all the same, just Fortnite and done. Right, and I think that's what I was trying to tell people. I was like, you cannot like it. You can be technically correct about how it affects the game. You can be technically correct about how it sort of works and grates against the traditional Battle Royale feel. But in an ocean of Battle Royales, you need to have something that defines yours. And I think Warzone at some levels was defined by Gulag and loadouts. Just give me auto pickup options. Just a tier system that will let me auto pick up stuff when I run over weapon attachments for my weapon on my tier list. I mean, yeah, there are some people that wouldn't want to use that, but if you want to use it, that could be helpful. You could have guns, tier levels of guns and attachments that you give it an override card. It always overrides and goes on and gets attached. Because he worked with Activision once and gets up to 20 to 35k views per stream, I think his options are the majority, says Cole. Oh, you talking about another content creator? Couldn't they define it with something better, says Crowded House? But again, the point that I've been trying to make is you have to understand where the loadout system came from. They didn't dream that up in like some fever dream and like oops-a-daisy, we stumbled into an idea that was good but also not good. Loadouts it's literally just taken from Call of Duty. Like, go all the way back to like Modern Warfare 2. They're taking a concept right out of the game that was already there. That's why it exists. They're taking something familiar. You got your guns, you got your attachments, you got your perks. That is familiar. That is like almost franchise defining. My point isn't that loadouts great against the original concept of BR. Plenty of BRs do that. I think completely curated loadouts break the concepts of BR in a bad way. I feel like you just disagreed with yourself. Your point isn't that loadouts great against the original concept of a BR. Plenty of BRs do that. I think completely curated loadouts breaks the concept of a BR. So you're saying loadouts could be in the game if they were like what they're doing now. You can buy a fully kitted weapon that you've selected yourself, but you don't get anything else? Eugene says it's not just one weapon. People are running overkill to get 2 weapons, perks, tacticals, etc. The more I learn about how loadouts work, the more I'm against them, says Eugene. Paul says, the main premise is about choosing your own experience within Warzone. That sounds like DMZ mode is for people who want to use only loadouts. Well, DMZ is also going to be extraction, and it's going to be a lot like Tarkov, so it's going to make people feel a certain kind of way. Like, it's not going to be necessarily appealing just to people who want loadouts. 415 people have voted on the poll at the top of the chat. Warzone 2 loadout system. Should it return? It's about a 60-40 split. More people are saying yes, it should return. It is pretty much split down the middle. We're nearing 400 viewers, so let's try to near 400 likes. Thank you for over 400 votes on the poll as well. If you're enjoying my content, subscribing is free and it lets you talk in my chat. Membership's $5, but it gets you into a members-only talk show that we do every day at the end of the day, and my members-only Discord. Don't forget about the coffee as well. We try not to promote things too often because we know it's show disrupting, but we do have our own coffee. Reforge Roast here at Reforge Gaming. That's not a sponsor, that's ours. And tons of new customers are getting their coffee this week. We want to hear how much you're liking it. Cole in the Snow says, too fast, easy for casuals, L guns, not to mention mini-map, red dots don't pop up. Oh, you talking about MW2? What I'm saying, Distorted says, it's okay to modify or improvise on the BR concept. I don't think Loadouts does that. I think they completely sour the milk, not complement it. I used the food analogy. It doesn't make it make sense. You are basically saying, in a food analogy, you're saying this ingredient is so juxtaposed against the recipe, it's ruining the recipe. That's what you're saying, right? You're putting cayenne pepper in an ice cream cake. It just doesn't work, right? It only works for people who really love cayenne pepper. For everybody else, it's like you ruined that ice cream cake. It's too juxtaposed against what an ice cream cake is supposed to be. It's supposed to be cold and sweet, not spicy. 510 Live with a $5 tip through Super Chat. New member here. Activision, Ubisoft, EA, they're creatively bankrupt to me. I play Hunt Showdown for the mature narrative and hardcore gameplay. I've actually heard good things about Hunt Showdown, but I've never gotten into it myself. Everyone is mad Activision made a BR for Call of Duty players. That's what I've been fundamentally arguing, Chulo, is that, or Chulu, this is a battle royale for COD heads. And you're like, well, I'm a COD head and I don't like it. Okay, that's fine. But the number of the Call of Duty player base is so big, right? The Call of Duty player base is so big, I feel like most of them gravitate to the loadout system. I do. If I could wave a magic wand and say, you know, of all the people who have played Call of Duty, and I'm able to wave this magic wand and fully inform their brain of how the loadout system works in Warzone, the negatives and the positives, the game impacting effects of it, and ask them the question, is this good or bad? Should this continue? I think that most of them would say, yes, it should continue and I like it. Right? That's what I think. I think, 75% of them. I think a strong majority, not a weak majority, not like 51%. I'm like, yeah, I think about 75% of the people, if I could wave that magic wand over every dadgum Call of Duty player in the world who is interested in playing Warzone or Modern Warfare 2 or whatever the frick, and I was able to, in that moment, right? I was able to, in that moment, get their brain educated on how loadouts work and ask them the question, is this good and should it continue? I think most of them would say yes. Because they would say, yeah, that sounds familiar to me. I like that. That sounds like Call of Duty to me. That sounds like the Call of Duty that I cut my teeth in. Like... Make sure you listen to Sven, because he's a genius. What you talking about? Hunt Showdown is hardly a BR. It's an extraction royale. I mean, 510, I think it is fair to say it's not really a BR. I mean, if you were going to be like, these aren't good battle royales, I like playing Tarkov, I think it would be fair for people to be like, that's not really a battle royale. When people say battle royale, it's a generally accepted colloquialism that it's a giant game where people drop on a map and winner takes all, right? Whether it's Fortnite or PUBG or Apex or Warzone. And Hunt Showdown and Tarkov don't really fit into that category that well. I don't think his pushback was, wrong. COD players don't want to play boring BRs like PUBG, Fortnite, or Apex. We want a COD BR, and that needs loadouts. It's a fact. That's what I'm saying. I'm not necessarily saying it's a fact. I'm saying that it is a strongly held opinion within the Call of Duty community that loadouts feel familiar. They feel like Call of Duty, right? I'm agreeing with him. It's not a BR, which is why I like it better. Oh, Sven, I think you might have misfired. He is saying you're a genius. People should listen to you. He's saying it's not a BR. That's why he likes it. Well, you did say Extraction Royale since we've got uneducated gamers. I mean, that sounds kind of rude. That sounds kind of rude. Every team on the map gets a loadout drop on the second to last circle. So you enter the final ring with the loadout, says Sinos. How is Apex boring? Well, I think people are using the word boring subjectively. They're not saying the game is boring. They're saying when I drop and I have to pick everything up and hope to get a good loadout, they think that that's boring. You might think it's thrilling and your adrenaline's pumping. Hunt does. You don't go into the map to extract gear. You just extract the bounty. And he called Warzone a babysitter for chubby cheeks. Well, yeah, he probably watches a lot of Dr. Disrespect. I mean, Dr. Disrespect says that, and he's quoting the doc. The doc says that. Where do you think he got that? Doc plays Warzone all day and talks like that. Well, he doesn't play Warzone right now. He's playing a lot of Apex. Apex is superb. The skill ceiling is astronomical. So wait, the final battle is RNG? Well, this is one of the reasons that people like people want a Warzone loadout because they don't want RNG determining who wins in the end, right? It's not a guarantee you'll get access to the free loadout, right? Most people probably look at it that way, though. They say, I have more influence over what happens, right? I can drop, I can loot, I can get money, and I can find a loadout to buy. I can find one of the things, buy a loadout, and when I do that I have control over the game. Take audio. Why do I have 5 emails? Oh, all the kids are responding. Hey, somebody ordered some coffee. Thank you so much. First coffee order of the day from Logic. Ordered a bag of light roast. Thank you so much for that. Hang on. My wife's asking me a question. Just, audio books, for now. Bedtime is too far away. It's too far away. Shooting shields for 4 minutes sucks, especially if we both have red shields. I was watching a clip on Twitter of Doc playing Apex, and he won like a 3v1. I could not believe how long it took to kill people in that game. I was like, Jiminy freaking Christmas. He is just absolutely laying into people and like they're not dying. I'm like, oh my gosh, I would not enjoy that. I just wouldn't. It's not my cup of tea. Don't get me wrong, I think Warzone is a great battle royale. I just personally fundamentally disagree with the loadouts in the game for me and honestly for others, but that's just my personal thoughts. Yo, it's good, Von Raz. Exactly. I mean, there's definite risk that you take trying to even get out of the free loadout since it's usually next to 1 or 2 of the 3 other teams' loadouts. Take something away that is closer in proximity. No books. Library. I don't know. Come home and no reading. Go to their rooms. Like, we're working on like immediate consequences that are more tangible instead of like distant ones. I'm praying this new engine allows for multiple BR maps. I run R99 and car, so it's super fast TTK, but outside of SMG range, it's just shoot, heal, shoot, heal, shoot, heal. I should win a gunfight because I've put more time into the game. Strong loadout. Apex has a bad shield system, and then not to mention the movement bugs that people are able to utilize make it unbearable to play. One gripe I have with Apex is the match UI. It's very slow and clunky for controllers, at least in my experience when using the D-pad to switch items. If you guys are just tuning in and you're enjoying the coverage, we've been talking Warzone 2 loadouts returning. We've been asking people to take the poll at the top of the chat. Do you want a Warzone 2 loadout system to return to the game? Right now, everyone's always looking up their favorite Warzone loadout, and they don't want that to go away in Warzone 2.0. So we're discussing that. You should win if you're the better player, not if you played the game longer. Yeah, I couldn't tell if he was being sarcastic, Creature. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I think that's one of the dangers of the loadout system, right? It's not welcoming to new players. Nice shirt, thank you. Guys, always remember, anytime you're here and you like my shirt, you can check out 80s Tees. We are partnered with them. Use code LONO for 30% off. Thanks to everybody who has been continuing to use my code over there. I didn't realize how much in the minority I was. Well, it's not a strong minority, though, Sven. A 60-40 split, that's still a lot of people that don't want loadouts in Warzone 2. A $5 tip from 510 Live. Let's talk about DMZ. You think the recruit difficulty AI we've seen will make the mode compelling? They didn't show it off because they know it's bad. Thank you for the $5 tip, 510. I have my own concerns about the AI system because apparently they've put a lot of work into the AI system, and it's obviously going to show up in the campaign, but it's also going to be showing up in the MW2 raids, and we covered that yesterday, and the DMZ. They also had plans to have AI all over the map in Warzone 2.0, but apparently they're scrapping that for whatever reason. And we're getting a huge suggest today. We're getting tons of people to click on this video who saw it suggested on free Warzone hacks and unlock tools. Oh gosh, we're showing up on those kind of videos. Anyway, if you clicked on this video from one of those videos, I hope you've been enjoying my coverage and my show. I am a safe for work broadcaster, so when you hit subscribe, right, I'll be in your sub feed all week long. If I'm ever not on your homepage, check your sub feed. Hair looking good too. Yeah, it's at that fun stage. I thought I was getting it cut last night. I'm getting it cut tonight. So yes, 510 Live. I am concerned about the AI. Now, to be fair, you wouldn't want the AI to be all that impressive in MW2 Invasion. That invasion mode, that would be really frustrating because if the AI was really good, it would be stealing kills from you, right? It'd be stealing kills from you, and it would also be killing you. Does that make sense? Like, your own AI would be going up there and taking kills from you, and then you'd be getting killed by them. So, like, Invasion's not the best example, but it is a little worrisome that the feedback... Listen to this feedback on Warzone 2. They said that many content creators playing the early Warzone 2 build during Call of Duty Next complained that the AI was too difficult to distinguish from real players and just got in the way. Now it appears Infinity Ward have scrapped the roaming AI and they'll only appear in strongholds. Now, I would just give feedback and say, do what they did in Titanfall in attrition. It was obvious when you were shooting non-real players because they were like robots instead of a person. It's like you knew what you were shooting. Like, I don't know if they could do that in this game. I don't know if the context of Modern Warfare 2 allows for like they would look like droids, right? Like the Roger droids from Star Wars. But it does seem like the AI aren't being exactly well received. Now, AI and Invasion are kind of easy to spot because they all pop out of a helicopter and they all kind of stick together, and they're kind of dumb. But periodically, real players would be running with them and they would take you by surprise, which that actually was kind of cool when it happened, even though it was frustrating. That's fair. They need to crank it to veteran difficulty for the DMZ. It should feel like EFT. I think they'll probably be able to tweak the difficulty of the bots. I do. You could say that loadouts discourage player movement, says Preacher. A lot of people get their loadout and they just find a house to camp in the attic until the ring comes instead of continuing to move and loot. That's really great feedback, Preacher. Think about it. You don't need anything. You don't. You don't need any attachments to top off your gun. You don't need anything. You got all that you need. So the momentum, the motivation, the go out there and get kills. When you die to a guy at the end of a BR and he has a killer kit, you're like, well, if he's got 10 kills, I can see why he has a killer kit. He picked over 10 different people's corpses and was able to build a god tier kit. You get killed by some guy at the end of Warzone who has 1 kill and he camped in a building and he shoots you in the back and has a god tier loadout. You're like, he didn't even earn that. He didn't even earn his loadout. That's actually, that's the meta. Hide until you get your loadout, then hide until final circle. Jake says, boom, exactly. That's literally 3 teams every match. Eknor says, I don't have an issue with loadouts, but they should limit weapon types. Spawning with sniper rifles, machine guns, or RPG could be damaging. Well, you don't spawn with them. You do have to buy them. But what I'm being told in chat is the meta turns into hide, get your loadout, and then hide some more. And that's frustrating to people who are like, I want a battle royale to be full of engagement, not people hiding with their full kit, waiting for final circle. That's what half the player base does. It's trash. Loot to earn is the way. Right, and this is another piece of pushback that I think is helpful. I think people need to consider that when you're going to have loadouts in the game, I've been explaining all morning why some people might like it, why it's been built, why it appeals, to the Call of Duty audience. I've been kind of trying to put that out there as just another vantage point, another viewpoint for you to consider. But that doesn't mean it's not having a negative effect on game flow. It's not having a negative effect on final circle meta especially. I think that's something that people have to consider, because if you're going to be creating this intense final narrative memorable moments, it sounds like a lot of those moments are being heavily tarnished by, look, just do this. You're creating, as I said in my short today, which my short did amazing, by the way. If you guys ever see my shorts on the short shelf, I don't publish them to your sub feed. I won't hit your inbox with a short. It's got a little over 3,000 views right now, and people seem to be liking it. And that's essentially what I said, is you're bringing the meat grinder of the arena over to the Battle Royale, and I think people don't like that. But I also think people do like it. I think finding the middle ground is challenging. I think it's challenging because what is the middle ground? I think a lot of people are probably going to push for, and we made this prediction last week, I think a lot of people are going to push for have 2 modes. Have a mode with loadouts and have a mode without loadouts, right? How about we feel loadouts, just make them crazy expensive or keep the cost, but the best way to get cash is by killing players, not loot boxes. Ed G, can I still call you B-Nipple? How did you remember that that's his name? Did he say that in chat today? How did you even remember that, Rob? Good to see you, by the way. They'll add everything back from Warzone just over time. This is a 2-year cycle. I just joined, but anyone thinking the meta won't exist without loadouts is just wrong. I don't think anybody is under the delusion that a meta won't exist, right? By the way, can I get 30 more likes on the video? If you've wandered in here and you've never seen my coverage before, smash the like button if you're enjoying my coverage and hit subscribe. I love hearing from you, by the way. If you disagree with me, you're allowed to be here. Some guy left a comment and he said, I would disagree with you, but you ban people who criticize you. I'm like, homie, I literally beg people to disagree with me. What are you talking about? I ban people who are douchebags. Like, if you can't disagree without being a douchebag, that's a personal problem, right? That's a character flaw. It's not on me. The most gratifying wins are the ones where it all went to hell and you're running ground loot or kill loot. You want to buy kill streaks, loadouts, revive a teammate, get to killing players for cash. I don't necessarily know if what Abe is saying is a bad idea, right? So if you lose to a guy that has a loadout or has a bunch of stuff, then I would actually think that if you know, well, they had to get a lot of kills to get that, that's pretty amazing. Or not pretty amazing, but like at the very least, you know, you're like, well, that guy got a lot of kills. Eugene says, what just happened? I'm not sure what you're talking about, Eugene. Is Tarkov PvEVP? Yeah, it's a mixture. I disagree with you, says Preacher. Because I disagree, therefore I am. There you go. J-God will create the meta. Yeah, no lootable money, only kill money. Yeah, if you only get kill money, you know what they should do? Don't even do money. Don't even do money. Do a token system. Every kill gets you a token, and certain items cost, I don't know, 1 to 5 tokens. Yo, Eknor with 5 gifted members wants to keep the gifted member train going. The online MVPs, 20 gifteds, are still at the top of the chat. They've all been claimed, and these have all been claimed. Peshdosky, Reaxic, Issa, ABCE Endcoder, what the frick? Duncan and Duncan BW. Guys, you all just got gifted members, and I had a hard time saying some of those names. Welcome on in. You now have a month of access to my members-only Discord, and we do a members-only talk show every single day. So welcome in. I came back, and you're talking about bans? I'm talking about bans? I am? What did I say about bans? Oh, absent coder? Oh, absent coder. I see it now. Thank you, Snow. We now have 2,821 members. We're basically 180 members away from 3K. That's crazy. That would be kind of hard with low-ticket items like UAVs, unless you make UAVs, self-revives, airstrikes the same cost, then make revives and loadouts. Right. I just feel like if it was a token system, Abe, and you got a token per kill, okay, you would make it a lot easier to create that spend meta of certain items are low, certain items are high. So you'd have to really save those tokens, which is huge risk reward. Well, I've got 3 tokens. I need 5 for a loadout. Frick. And like, you got to take the risk and engage and try to get kills if you want to get that loadout. You know what I'm saying? You'd have to run the numbers and be like, okay, the average mid to late game player is getting this many kills. That would equal this many tokens. How hard do we want to make people, how hard do we want to make it for people in that average of tokens? How many do we want to require for certain items? You'd have to base it off of, you'd have to base it off of how many average kills people are getting. Oh, someone said they don't want to disagree with Lono or get banned. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was referencing a comment someone left. That was like a very brief comment. I want to piggyback off of that and ask, if that token system was set in stone, would it be fair if your teammates drop their tokens upon death, or you can only earn them with kills? I think in team round modes, Immortal, I think it'd be totally fine for your teammates to leave behind a portion of their tokens, right? If your teammate has 6... he should drop like 3, because then you could use some of those to help get him, do a buyback. Let's say 10 tokens is a loadout. You'd have to kill 1/6 of the lobby for a loadout. Well, that's what I'm saying, Abe. You'd want to make it reasonable. You'd want to make it to where a loadout was within reach, but it was primarily within reach of people playing well and going for kills, right? 3 kills for a loadout. 3 or 4, I think would be fine, and then 2 kills for something underneath. I don't know. I'm literally just off the top of my head throwing out numbers, just thinking through like that might create the meta that people are wanting, where if someone has a loadout, if someone is stronger or has good stuff at the end of a game, it's because they earned it, not because they ran around and opened up boxes in houses. People that have better aim and awareness than CDL players that came out of nowhere, the world of Warzone streamers, and people think they're legit. Total ESP 300 a month. Oh, listen. I have said for a very, very long time that Call of Duty cheaters, there's an epidemic in the streaming world. I've said that for a very, very long time. I've seen enough videos to be compelled. There's an epidemic of soft cheating, and the walls are closing in. People are going to be getting exposed, and it's going to go up. All the people that defended, especially Nadia, I think anybody that defended her is going to look like a clown in about, T-minus 30 days. That clock's ticking. I think the walls are closing in. I think it's going to be harder and harder to defend some of the behavior and some of the gameplay that we're seeing. Like, the average viewer's like, it's just aim assist. And it's like, that's not, you don't understand how aim assist works. You don't understand how aim assist works. So I just doubled down. Yeah. I'm telling you, people doubling down and defending her, they better get ready to put clown makeup on, because the walls are closing in, bro. There's too many clips, right? There's too many clips. There's too many blatant things that aren't frame glitches or aim assist, right? I'm not hating. I've done tons of research. I've watched plenty of clips, and I know what cheating in this game looks like. I've been compelled. I have been compelled and convinced there is an epidemic, especially in the sudden people who have descended on the scene and are gods out of nowhere. So, oh my gosh. Insomniac Black just dropped a 50 bomb gifted member on the chat. I cannot read all these names. I can't. You need to check chat right now. If you can hear my voice, this man's been dropping absolute massive bombs all week on the chat. If you just got a gifted membership, you suddenly are getting a ping or an email or whatever, right? You're suddenly getting a ping or an email or whatever. You now have a badge. You now have emotes that you can use in my chat. You also get a month of access to my members-only Discord. You also get a month of access to members-only talk shows that we do every single day, Monday through Friday. Welcome to the Forge. I'm supposed to be saying that, by the way. This is Reforge Gaming, and when you're a member, welcome to the Forge, right? And thank you, Ric Flair, for hitting 13-month milestone. Your badge is now gold. Did people in this stream just win the lottery or something? Lono ain't worth that much money. Shut up, Abe. It's pretty obvious when all of them keep looking at their left other monitor and then they magically know where people are. Yeah. Yo, what's good, Sean? Thank you so much for the membership. That just really pushed us up. The hill. That's a big member bomb. Thank you so much. Some of you guys have just been going absolutely crazy. Insomniac Black, that is massive. We are now at 2871. 2,871 members. That's just crazy. That is massive. Have I missed? What have I missed? I was pretending to work. What's good, Chalupa Batman? I think Chalupa Batman got a gifted membership yesterday as well. I love that name. Chat's on the other monitors. Yeah. Yeah, that's what they're doing. They're constantly going, what's over there? What's over there? What's over there? In the middle of fights. And then they just magically know where everybody is. Like, oh yeah, they're right there. Oh, man. Next month, milestone rewards will be Lono cooking stream, reverse searing all the steaks he can buy now. Yeah. There's a hacker hunter named Tino. He brought up a good point on when Shifty was being accused of hacking. He was forced to fly over Jake Lucky's podcast and play games on his setup. He passed the test. A lot of people broke down that test and said it didn't prove anything, though. A lot of these players are already high-level players. So flying out and having a couple of good games proves nothing. Like, the fact that they think that proves something, that's suspicious in and of itself. It's like, a lot of these players are already good. Like, you're kidding yourself if you think that proves anything. Well, yeah, I spent my own money and I flew out here. I don't even know the guy you're talking about, by the way. I'm not saying that guy is. What I'm saying is that doesn't prove anything. Someone can be consistently soft cheating and using VPN for bot lobbies and using a toggleable soft cheat that targets leg, mid, head, whatever. Like, their movement and their aim is like, it's not explainable. And then they go to somebody's house and they play and they get kills. Well, that settles it for me. What the frick? Of course they can go to somebody's house and still get kills. Now, not all of them are already good. Like, if we watched her performance at the event, there's a 5KD player that analyzed her gameplay, and he's like, come on. Yeah, and it's been proven she uses a VPN for bot lobbies. That's been proven. And people are like, it's just because she's a girl. Really? That has nothing to do with it. Nobody's bringing that up. You're bringing it up. The reason you're bringing it up is because that's the lens you view things through, not the way I view things. You're projecting that onto me because that's how you view women, not me. You're projecting that into the dialogue. I'm not. I don't give a frick about that. Like I said the other day, you could be the first sentient pineapple. That doesn't mean anything in the equation. I'm looking at the gameplay. Yo, DSB Prime with a $50 tip through Super Chat. Yo, Lono, congrats on a big September. I'll be in Hawaii for the next week with my wife for our anniversary, so I won't be able to catch the live streams. Thanks for all the great content. Use this money for some gifted members. I'll send more. Oh my gersh. Oh my gersh. I'll use it. We don't like doing this all the time, but I'll periodically do this for somebody because they're not able to. Right? I'll do a little bit. I'll do a. See, the problem is it pulls from my PayPal, and I got to be careful. Because we use the PayPal for something else now. Maybe I just need to attach it to something else. Probably should just attach my my YouTube spending to a different account. Thank you so much for the 20 spot, though. A 50 spot and a 20 spot. Ridiculously generous. The unfortunate thing is that most of us can't tell the difference between a good player and cheating and a great player not cheating. And even when the ones who can tell can't know for certain. Yeah, like I've seen videos of some of these guys. They're like making fun of the hacker hunters. They're like, they slow everything down and analyze every frame. Yeah, no frick they do that. That's how you catch them. Yes, that's what they do. What do you mean? Imagine some crime detective show slowing down footage to show what someone did and being like, well, they're just slowing the footage down to a bit. Well, yeah, that's how you show it. How else are they supposed to show it? The movement's so fast. The snaps are so subtle. You have to do that. The cheats are so sophisticated now. Oh, you didn't mean 20? You meant like 10? Well, I went with a 20 spot. Yo, I just dropped 20 on the chat to say thank you guys for all of the love, all of the support, all of the likes. Absolutely insane support lately. Could we get 12 more likes on the video? Show some appreciation for the people gifting. I'm gifting. We're all gifting. We are heading towards 3,000 members. We are now at 2,891. We are 9 away from 2,900. Enjoy all those gifteds. It doesn't make sense. Why would you have walls on a second monitor? The stream isn't based on your monitor. That's not how capture works. Yeah, a lot of the times you can't see what they're doing. Like, somebody can literally be streaming with walls right in front of them, and you're not seeing what they're seeing. They're sending you a different feed, right? You really want Madam to join you on Friday? I do. The amount of effort needed on the surface is too much for people. In order to detect the cheat, you have to know what normal slowdown looks like, similar to counterfeit money. Yo, Def Jamma drops a 10 spot on the chat. That's 2,900 members. We're on the runway for 3,000. That's absolutely crazy. Bubba, Dryer, Kaio, Turgy, Kenny Smith, Googly Moogly. I know that name. You're here a lot of the time. Nightfall, Ian Froming, Mike Man, Angelo, Nirvana, and It's Spurious Dude. There we go. That's 2,900 members. That's insane. I don't even know what emote we're going to do at 3,000 to celebrate. I don't even know. Wouldn't people that are that good have the confidence to jump into the pro scene? It's so obvious when people are cheating, when movement's unnatural and they snap the targets every time. You had 500 members like 5 minutes ago. I know, Zubair. Like, she has a second screen so she can do monitor cam and the hacks are out of view of the secondary monitor. Or she duplicates and sends you a clean image. She can literally be looking at the cheats right on her screen, right? She can literally look at the cheats right on her screen. There was, like, I don't understand how anybody can look at one of the recent clips where she goes to aim at somebody in the sky and the bot pulls her aim down and snaps to somebody that she couldn't see in cover. Like, the person literally breaks the plane of a wall and, like, her aim snaps down. It's like, how do you watch that and say, oh, that's aim assist? That's not how aim assist works. It's like you've never played Call of Duty. Here's a 5 spot for getting my last name right. Thank you, Bubba Dryer. I appreciate that. Yeah, the looking at the second monitor has never been that compelling to me, right? It's never been that compelling to me. I have watched plenty of videos and plenty of breakdowns, and I have been compelled to believe tons of these people are cheating. Tons of them are. It's like, it's so obvious. It's like, that's not natural movement. That's not how crosshairs and aim assist work. They literally show you, this is what aim assist looks like. They go into private matches, they drag back and forth, they aim, they move, they do all sorts, and then they show someone's footage and they're like, what the frick is this? My game doesn't do that. And people are like, it's just aim assist. It's like, oh my gosh. Let's get a throwback long hair Lono emoji for 3K. Thank you, Newtonian. All of the emotes, I have long hair. I didn't have any of the emotes redone with short hair. Like if you use what? Lono hello? Yeah, he all has long hair. Make the 3,000 emote a grocery bag. Celebrate just a little. You miss long hair Lono? Whenever I'm watching like Lord of the Rings and shows like that, I end up feeling like I miss it. Oh golly. My kids are being naughty again. Jitsu, I don't even know what that is. Yes. The Entropy Center. It launches on November 3rd. Play the demo during Steam Next Fest. If you're looking for a game, I want a code. I want a code for this game. It looks so good. I'm dying to get a code for early access to record footage. Yeah, the Entropy Center looks so freaking cool. It looks like such a cool game. We need a Hugo emote. Well, hey, we got to get to 3,000, okay? We need like 100. We got to get 3,000. I miss long hair Lono. Barely got to know him. Not all women. They're talking about a specific one known for cheating. Listen, the minute people invoke that it's about her being a woman, you're suspect because no one's bringing that up. They break down her gameplay. They look at her movement. They look at her behavior. They look at her aim snaps. They look at footage. They slow it down. They do the same thing to her they've done to everybody else. They are giving her the exact same treatment that they have given to every other suspicious player. You're the one invoking her gender, not the person making the video, not me. Like, the fact that you're invoking that as some kind of narrative armor, I'm telling you right now, she's drumming that up as narrative armor. Why? Because then she's going to walk away once the walls start closing in, once it's undeniable, right? I guarantee you, she'll get caught, she'll get exposed in some way, and then she'll basically say, I'm walking away from the game, it's too toxic. It's not safe. It's not safe for a woman in this game. She's already creating that narrative armor. She's already out there saying that. It's like, no one's talking about the fact that you're a woman. Only you are. You're the only one bringing it up. But nobody else is bringing it up. Yo, Insomniac Black's going to take us halfway there. Another 50 gifted member bomb. That is absolutely massive. That is huge. That's enormous, dude. Insomniac Black has gone just absolutely crazy the past couple of weeks. Like, listen, I have been following situations like this for a couple of years, and the minute I smell somebody doing that, I think guilty. What the frick? Why are you doing that? Why are you bringing that into the discussion, right? It smells like guilt to me immediately. Didn't Z set up like 50 cameras to counter the cheating accusations? Well, you have to understand something. Right? You have to understand something. Z plays at an incredibly high level, right? Z plays at an incredibly high level. So he can easily show and be like, look, I'm still having great games. I'm still having amazing games, right? Like, we don't know if he's VPNing into a bot lobby. So he is a very good player. He is. A lot of these people can go into a match and still throw down great numbers. That doesn't prove anything. It doesn't. I need you to explain what happens in the footage that is all jacked up and all weird, right? Is business booming? Aren't you grateful you aren't on purple? I am grateful I'm not on purple. There's quite a few people that can't seem to limit her cheating to being a cheater. There are some vids out there with some really off-color stuff. Right, and I'm not even talking about those videos. There were some videos, yes, of course, that want to invoke all this nastiness. We are at 2951 right now, 2,951 members. I will never, ever promote or talk about content that has done that. I have no interest in those channels. Those guys are drama farming. There are channels, there are small channels, there are guys on Twitter that don't have an axe to grind, and they're not being nasty. They're literally clipping stuff and saying, what the frick is this? They're slowing it down and showing you this doesn't make any sense. There are too many people. If there was one or two channels being nasty and being gross and saying terrible things about her, I'd be like, yeah, this feels like a drama farm. They're just trying to ride off her popularity. But when you got guys on Twitter with like 100 followers capturing gameplay, throwing the big crosshair on it and slowing it down and being like, this doesn't make any sense. This is an aimbot. Like, that's when you have to start asking the question, wait a minute. Even the most pedestrian viewer now is clipping stuff and saying, this doesn't look legit. It's not a YouTuber. It's not somebody making money. It's not somebody being nasty. It's not somebody drama farming. It's literally somebody who's interested. They're like, there's a cheating epidemic in this game. Let me watch this really popular person who's been accused a bunch and what was that? And then they clip it and throw it on Twitter. There's too many people. There are too many people, too many channels, too many clips to just be like, oh, it's a bunch of nasty drama farmers. I think that's narrative armor. You're trying to create this picture that she's being attacked because she's a woman. And it's like, no. She's the one that started putting out clips and saying, I'm the best player. Look at this. I'm the best player. Look at that. I'm going to get invited to events and I'm going to show you how good I am. And then she goes to an event and she plays at like my level. Like the one guy broke down all of her games. Like her best game, she got like a 1.5 KD or something. It was like, what the frick? It's like, I play at that level. My gosh. Like, you know what I'm saying? He broke down everything. He said, look at her movement. Look at the way she handles corners. Look at the way she does this. Look at the way she does that. He's like, none of this is a 9 KD player. Like, none of this adds up. You know what I'm saying? He's an experienced player, and he's literally breaking down, like, how to enter lanes, and how to breach rooms, and how to handle map control, and, like, it's like, come on, bro. This has nothing to do with the fact that she's a woman. The gameplay doesn't make any sense. For members, can you show the trailer of the game you're going to play? Oh, I'm asking for a key for Entropy Center. That one we covered that during like the summer stuff. It's like Portal on steroids. It looks amazing. Care to show us an example? I don't do that kind of content here. No, I'm not doing that. There is ample proof out there. I know there's ample proof out there. Bad Boy Beeman got a bad rap because he had one video that rendered funky and it messed with timing of one kill, and then nobody addressed any of the other things he pointed out about Z, so he got a bad rap. But he has plenty of videos where he's grabbing videos from other people's channels and other people's Twitter feeds, and he's like, what the frick is this? What is this? And he has a video that definitively proves she VPNs into bot lobbies. That's cheating, bro. If you're going to throw 30 bomb clips on your social and act like you're super good and it's been proven that you're VPNing into bot lobbies, then sit down and shut the frick up. No one cares. Anybody could do that. I could literally VPN into bot lobbies and drop 30 bombs. The one clip proves like she's VPNing into Brazil or something. It's like, what the frick? Why would you defend somebody doing that? You're watching fraudulent content. You're watching fraudulent content. It's not real. I'm the best player. Look at all these kill streaks. Look at all these kills. You're VPNing into bot lobbies. Imagine if your favorite player, you found that out. This guy's a god, dude. Look at these kills. Look at these kill streaks. Look at these kill counts. Oh my gosh. And then you found out he was VPNing into lobbies to get easy kills. Explain VPN into bot lobby. They VPN into regions where there's almost no players. So the people they play against are like trash. They're like looking at the walls and stuff. It's a common strategy of high-level players because high-level players get sick of getting thrown into lobbies where it's really, really tough. So they VPN, they switch their region, they go into lobbies where everyone's a bot, and they get tons of kills. Like, it's a common trope and strategy right now of some of the bigger content creators. This list represents the top female players in esports with the most money based on information. Why are you showing me this? Oh, Google top COD players. Look at this giant list. No one is saying she's a cheater because she's female. Look at all these successful women who play COD. Yeah, there are plenty of women who play COD, and the Call of Duty communities never called them out, never accused them of anything. There's tons of women right now in the Call of Duty community who shred and make tons of money. And no one's ever been like, foul on the play. A woman can't be good at Call of Duty. They've never said anything. There's all these people. Where are all the accusations about all the other women who play Call of Duty? Where are they? Where are the videos? If this is purely motivated by that, then where are all the videos about all the other pros, all the other women in orgs, all the other women who make money playing COD? Where are all those vids? They don't exist because that's not why people are singling her out. Oh, you were saying it wasn't. Right, I agree with that, Goddess, yeah. It's in the TOS, Cole. VPNing out of your region, they don't want you doing that. It's against terms of service. It's cheating, bro. Is using a VPN really cheating? I mean, come on now. Okay, I want you to think about something with me. Just stop. Just stop for 1 second. Imagine I'm not talking about somebody you're defending. Imagine I'm talking about somebody that maybe you don't like. And they sell their brand, their videos and their streams on, look how good I am. Look how many kills I get. That's their brand. That's their selling point. And you find out they've been VPNing into lobbies that are easy and bots. And that's why they're getting all those kills. Wouldn't you start to feel a certain kind of way? Like, wouldn't that feel like they're defrauding the public and selling a lie and getting support and getting money based on something that wasn't true? Wouldn't that start to feel like, again, if it's not somebody that you like, if you wouldn't have that bias to defend and shield them, I feel like your take on it would be different. This guy's out here lying to people. He's making money. And it's not real. It's just a bunch of bot lobbies. A TDM against pros and creators is not going to be easier than a BR against pubs. Yeah, but Eugene, if she's as good as she claims, wouldn't she have gone there and performed like everybody else? They all went there and had the same lack of experience. They all went there and were in lobbies that were going to be pretty tough. And you know what I'm saying? Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, did any other pros go there and completely fall apart? You have to understand the juxtaposition. You're going from a 9 KD to barely going even. That's a pendulum swing that'll give you whiplash. Like, what the frick? Imagine a legit 9 KD player. They're that good and godlike. They'd go to that event and you'd expect them to clean up. Some of the reasoning is bad. I know. Listen, I think it's better to stick to the footage. Stick to the footage. Going to an event and being like, she performed like dog water. Okay, well, I'm sure plenty of people performed like dog water because they didn't know what the frick was going on. That maybe their sound was bad. You know, they got lights. They got a different setup. They got different things. Okay, you could come up with 1,000 excuses as to why somebody went to an event and played poorly, right? She said they wouldn't let her use her Cronus. Look at the footage, is all I'm saying. I have been compelled by numerous videos and numerous breakdowns of footage from different YouTubers, not one. I know what a cheat looks like now. Because listen, this is what I think people think. People think that cheating in Call of Duty is like, bing, snap, you know, oh, they're staring at the wall. You're about 10 years behind. The cheating in these games is so much more sophisticated. The people that actually understand how the cheats work will literally break it down in a video for you and tell you what's happening. And if you don't have that knowledge, you're going to look at footage and think, well, of course their aim is kind of magnetic. That's aim assist. Nope. You need somebody who understands the way cheats work in Call of Duty to explain it to you, to break down what's happening. Why does her gun always aim at the leg? Why does her gun always track leg? Why does her gun always pull in that direction, right? Like, and this is what aim assist looks like. This is what a slight magnetic pull of aim assist looks like at this range and at that range. And if you've not done that research, you're just going to think these guys are being haters. You are 10 years behind if you think that there is not a massive epidemic of soft cheating because it's so sophisticated, the layman can't even see it. They've literally created cheats that are so sophisticated, people are streaming with them and you can't tell. That's how sophisticated they are. It's not the old days where you'd see a clip go viral and some guy's aim is going bink, 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 and he's just killing people. And you're like, oh my gosh, this guy's blatantly cheating. That's not what cheating looks like anymore, my friend. That's not what it looks like anymore. It's very subtle. It's very subtle. It's working within the confines of what organic, natural gameplay looks like. They want it to look legitimate. If you're, think about it. There's a reason that these cheat companies are making millions of dollars. They're not making millions of dollars because they have these crazy, you know, like neck-breaking cheats that are easy to spot. And that would mean what? Well, people would get banned almost immediately. It would be so easy to detect. You'd get reported instantly. The reason these cheat companies have been so successful is because the cheats are so much more sophisticated now. They're harder to detect. That's why there's an entire economy of cheating. Why do you think game companies are literally having to take the cheat companies to court? If cheats were so easy to detect and spot and see, well, these companies wouldn't be making any money. Somebody'd buy the cheat, they'd play for an afternoon, and they'd get banned. Cheating is no longer about winning the game. It's about creating a path to make money and content creating. That's exactly right. You think these people just appeared out of thin air? Call of Duty has been around for a super long time. There are household names in COD for a reason. And you think just out of nowhere, some of these players are just descending on the scene with stats that are inexplicable. Even some of the best players can't put these stats up. Upper Echelon did a piece with a hack creator where they said they get custom orders for big names and they tailor it to their gameplay so it's not noticeable. Yeah, Upper Echelon interviewed a guy who makes cheats, and he said that you'd be shocked how many big names are using soft cheats. It's hard to detect it. It's been custom made for them. It's made for their play style. It's made for their weapon of choice. It's made for their engagement style. And you see clips, and again, some of it's not your fault. Like, what are you supposed to be, like Columbo out here researching and combing over clips and educating yourself about what cheats look like? No, that's not fair to expect of the consumer. But that's the point, is that if you've not done that due diligence, if you've not done that research, the average clip to you is going to look totally fine. You're going to be like, I don't understand what the problem is. I don't understand. You're not going to see it. It's just going to look like aim assist to you. Because I'll be honest with you, the first couple times I saw clips, I said the same thing. I said, that just looks like aim assist. And a guy literally broke it down in the video, and he was like, this is what aim assist will look like. This is what a bot will look like. Hypothetically speaking, if she is cheating, then it doesn't really matter if everybody breaks the law, then is there really any law to be broken? What in the frick? What? Did you type that? And you think that? Hypothetically, if she's cheating, then it doesn't really matter. If everyone breaks the law, then there really is any law to be broken. Wait, that's not even a logical backflip. You just laid on the ground. You're just like, this is my logical... like, just laying on the ground. What the frick? Like, you've... That's your retreating line? You see what I'm saying? What did I say that started this entire rant? I said a lot of people defending these cheaters are going to have to be putting on clown makeup real soon. And you're putting on the clown makeup right now. Because you're like, oh no, what if she actually is? Time to put on the clown makeup. Well, if everybody's doing it, is it really a problem? What the huh? What? It's just fine to go out and lie to the public and defraud people for money? That's okay to do? Because what, everybody's doing it? Everybody's not doing it. There are lots of people that are, but there are also lots of people that are not doing it. I doubt it. There's not one thing that'll happen to her, the people defending her. Oh, I don't agree with that. I think there's a reckoning coming. I think there's about to be a lot of people that get exposed. I think the walls are closing in. I do. It's getting too easy to spot. There's too many people watching. There's too many clips surfacing. No, I don't think so. I think the walls are closing in. I think more and more cheaters are going to get exposed. She already has been exposed for VPNing into out of her region. She's already been exposed for that. There's more coming, guaranteed. Like, that's already been definitively proven. It's proven, okay? And that's just one thing. There's more. I guarantee you there's more coming. Think the armor will hold up that she's using? Well, you have to understand something. In this environment, streamer culture, the celebrity of streamers can make somebody sort of impervious to failure. So I'm not going to play that game anymore. Everybody's super toxic. There will be a portion of the audience that goes with her and continues to support her. It'll be a massive hit, though. It'll be a massive loss because there's people supporting and subbing and giving money because they love Call of Duty. And if you walk away from Call of Duty, you're going to lose an unbelievable, you're going to lose 80% of your audience. Talk to anybody that creates COD content. They'll tell you if you cover anything else, play anything else, do anything else. If you are playing Call of Duty and mention another game, you'll lose people. Like, it's gonna hurt. But I wouldn't be surprised if then, what does it matter? Make hay while the sun is shining and then just coast off of the residuals. Like your channels are so big, your sub base is so big, you know, just start playing, I don't know, you can play anything. Just play single player games. Just become a variety streamer. Your channel size and your sub base is so big, you could just become a variety streamer and be like, no, I don't play that game anymore. I got too tired of the drama. I got tired of being attacked. It's toxic. You know, they don't want women to be successful in that game. And that'll be the narrative armor. I'm telling you, I'm already seeing it. I'm seeing the runway lights. You're already laying the groundwork. I know what you're doing. I challenge anyone to find clips of this person or this person of any sus behavior the way some of these Warzone pros have so often. That's what I'm saying. Yeah. It proves she's doing it? Yeah, there's undeniable proof at this point that she's VPN'd. Yeah, I am not accusing. I'm saying there's so much out there. I don't know how anybody can look at it and think that this isn't real at this point. And what I'm saying is that the narrative armor is already in place. The narrative armor is in place. She has her exit strategy. She has her exit strategy. I have been compelled. I believe that she's using stuff. Like, the VPN thing was the nail in the coffin for me. Because it was like, she literally killed a guy who was making a video about how to VPN. So she was playing in a Brazil lobby that she VPN'd into when she killed him. The guy literally makes guide videos on how to do it. And she killed him at the end. And the irony is that she was playing with a guy who, like, checked her task manager. Ooh. Like, that's definitive. And that's what I was saying, is making it about the fact that she's a woman doesn't make any sense. Nobody that's broken down her gameplay or tweeted out suspicious clips has ever brought that up, because there's plenty of women who play COD at a professional level and make tons of money, and no one goes out of their way to go after them. That's not what this is about. It's not like creating this narrative that, like, the Call of Duty community is just a bunch of sniveling, like, toxic men that, like, are so incensed at the fact that, like, there's a really good girl player. There's plenty of women who play the game at a high level, and this doesn't happen. This isn't a thing. These channels aren't going after them. These channels that break down, like, what they feel is cheating and what they feel is not legitimate gameplay, they don't go after people based on anything other than the clips themselves. That's what they always do. They always are going after things based on clips. They're not going based off of who people are or their follower base. Do you know how many really, really big Call of Duty streamers there are that never, ever show up on these channels? They just never show up. They're never accused. They never end up in a hackuzation video. Why? Why aren't they accused? Because they don't have, there's no clips. What's the difference between lowering your rating by quitting 3 games in a row and using a VPN? One's against TOS and one's not. One's cheating and one's not. Reverse boosting lasts for like 1 game. You know what I'm saying? Like, reverse boosting lasts for like 1 or 2 games. And then you have 1 or 2 good games and then it doesn't work anymore. You're no longer reverse boosted. So, like, there's literal guide videos on how to do that. And they literally say in the videos, like, it only works for like 1 or 2 games. So they spend all this time reverse boosting their stats so they look like a trash can. Then they get into a bot lobby and they pop off. And maybe the next game they get 1 more chance. But after that, it's over. They're back in the harder lobbies. VPN is against Activision's TOS. Any attempt to hide, disguise, or obfuscate your identity or the identity of your hardware devices may result in a permanent suspension. Yeah, it's a bannable offense. It's a bannable offense. You're not allowed to do it, especially when you're intentionally region hopping so that you can farm low-skill players. Like, I don't see how anybody looks at that and just shrugs at it. You are actively deceiving the public and making money. And people are like, who cares? People reverse boost all the time. What? The issue isn't the integrity of their wins. The issue is the integrity of the content created based on their wins. It's a misrepresentation of the content. Right. Say what you want about a guy teaching you how to VPN into easy lobbies. You could call him scummy. You could call him nasty names. At least he tells you what he's doing. At least he tells you what he's doing. Using a VPN is joked about almost daily with big players and content creators. The VPN stuff does not seem to even be taken seriously at all. Right. Sure, detective. But, like your name indicates, if you're being a good detective and you have somebody that you've caught in a lie, They're VPNing to get into easy lobbies to lie to the public and be like, yeah, look how good I am. Look at these kill lobbies, right? At that point, you would immediately think, what about all these other things? There's already a mountain of clips that are suspicious of your aim doing things that are unnatural. What? Why at this point? Why are we going to believe you? You're willing to lie to the public about this. How do I know you're not lying about everything else? It automatically makes you untrustworthy. I'd say the same thing about anybody. I don't care who it is. Anybody that was doing that, anybody that was putting up like big kill, clips and bragging about how good they are and how awesome they are, and they're just making money doing it, and then you find out they're VPNing into bot lobbies, I'd be like, I don't know. That makes you untrustworthy. VPNing is a part of protecting yourself as well. How do you differentiate between those protecting their network and those using it to get easy lobbies? I mean, she got caught doing it to get into an easy lobby. There's no reason for her to be in a Brazil lobby. She's literally in a video of a guy saying, I did this, and he's literally at the end. She kills him and wins. They're the final two people. Like, surprise, surprise, the two people that VPN'd in that Brazil lobby were at the end. Like, why? Well, they were stomping on bots the whole time. You can see who's in a low KD lobby. Yeah, that's another thing you can do. What Leonidas is saying, that's another thing these hackuzation channels do. They research their lobbies. Like, I really do think that a lot of people think these guys just come off half-cocked, and they're like, suspicious clip, cheater, and then they put a stamp on the person's head. No, they do extensive research. They research how many accounts a person has. They research the lobby history. They research their KD. They look at all of it, and they're like, bro, there's like 8 red flags. Like, what? What do you? You're pulling 9 KD and you're going to the lobbies and everybody in there is negative KD. You're VPNing. You're VPNing into bot lobbies. You need to protect yourself using a VPN on your own home network while playing a game. Is that not lower risk than browsing or using public networks? Well, I mean, some people do it to protect their identity, their location, etc. Yeah. Some people do it so that you can't figure out where they are. Big streamers don't want you to know, where they live. There are people that do it for security reasons, legitimate reasons. A VPN is a legitimate piece of software. You can use it in illegitimate ways. Maybe the Brazilian players were using VPN to get into an American lobby. It's not that simple. Oh, you sweet summer child. Literally at the end of the video, Vale, he shows the region of the server he was in. Yeah. 98 Brazilians just decided to all VPN into an American lobby. He literally shows at the end of the video that he's in a Brazilian server. He's like, He's literally showing people, here's how you do it. Look how great my game went. Look how many kills I got. I made it to the end of the game, and look where I was playing. And lo and behold, she was in the server with him. What about the interview with Jake? And they said they're not going to talk about VPNs. Yeah, of course not. Because they didn't want her on record officially lying about that. She doesn't want to address that question. It would be damaging to the entire image that she's putting out there. Of course she's not going to answer questions about VPNs. Of course not. They also probably have a VPN sponsor. I like Jake, but more than likely, the channel he was on, if they have a VPN sponsor, they don't want to give VPNs a bad rap, right? They don't want to hurt their relationship with some VPN company. There's probably multiple facets of reasons of why they won't besmirch VPNs. What makes U.S. players better than Brazilians? Oh my gosh. No one has said that or insinuated that. No. They VPN out of their region into low population regions so that they play against bad players. The crux of the argument is not, let's find a region in the world where everybody's bad. They go to regions that are low pop so that they can increase the likelihood of playing against bot bad players. They're always intentionally picking regions that are low population. Not the actual region of the world, the game. There's a low population of Warzone players in that particular region. And when you VPN, it also tends to break skill-based matchmaking. Because you're suddenly in some other part of the world, and it's like, well, we just need to put you in a match based on connection. It breaks the way that they put people into matches. I'm unfamiliar with VPNs. It was an honest question. Well, I mean, it was a question. It was more than a question. It was a question phrased in a way that was asserting something that nobody here was asserting. You phrased the question in a way that made it sound like people were saying that. I'm like, nobody has once said that or indicated that. It would absolutely decrease the amount of VPNs used by top players because the stream sniping is crazy. Think of it this way, VPN cheating wouldn't be necessary if there was no skill-based matchmaking. Yeah, because what they would do, okay, so what they would do is if it was pure connection-based matchmaking and there was no skill-based matchmaking, they would just farm for big kill games and just upload their best games. Like, imagine a player, we'll call this player Bob, and Bob's a really good player, and he's legitimate. He's not a cheater, and there's no skill-based matchmaking, okay? Bob would play 10 games and just take his best game from that day and upload it. You can't do that with skill-based matchmaking because Bob's constantly getting thrown into sweaty lobbies, so he can't have these high kill games. Don't you think it's interesting? Don't you think it's irritating that your experience is the opposite of these people? That you play, and because you have decent stats, you get put into sweat lodges where you can't have high kill games, and somehow, mysteriously, all these YouTubers and streamers just keep bagging 30 bombs and bagging big kill lobbies. Why? Because they're VPNing out of their bracket. You know what I'm saying? You think they're that good? You think they're that good? Come on. Everybody complains about skill-based matchmaking. Everybody. And somehow these people just glide over it and 30 bomb, 25 bomb. Like, and then you watch the kills and you're like, who are these people? Who are you playing against? Can I play against those people? They're terrible. And the public laps it up because they're like, yeah, look how good they are. I love this person. Blah, and they throw money at them. We did not hit 3,000 members yet. No. Insomniac Black put us on the doorstep. We're 50 away. We are 2,951 members right now. Distorted says, using a VPN to be in a different region is basically network manipulation. Your ping's going to be terrible, affecting their experience with you. Yeah, that's the other thing people don't really understand. That's the other thing people don't understand, is when you VPN, everybody trying to fight you is probably having a hard time because you're laggy. I mean, what the frick is that guy doing? They're like skipping all over the place. Nick Merckx was dogging on Swag on how his lobbies are so much easier when he plays with him. That's exactly why I could feel the cheating. It was never a single game. It was in the air. When is the skill-based matchmaking going to kick in on these people? Well, that's exactly why... See, that's exactly why you should be suspicious of somebody getting caught VPNing. They're VPNing to counteract the fact that they're cheating. They cheat, and they put up such amazing stats, and they have to VPN. Because if they don't VPN, the skill-based matchmaking will catch up to them. Even the best cheats are going to be really, really hard to execute in a sweaty lobby. Because you're going to get shot from a window or something. Like, you're going to get shot out in the open by a high-skilled player. You're going to get murked. Well, that's what you do, right? You drive your stats so high, you're going to get thrown into the sweatiest lobbies in existence. Like, that's the thing you should be asking yourself. How does somebody with a KD that high constantly get these lobbies? They're cheating. They're VPNing to dodge the lobbies that they should be getting. Imagine dropping 30 bombs and 25 bombs. Imagine if you were doing it. Imagine the lobbies you would end up in. You have one win where you get like 6 or 7 kills, and suddenly you have to put your sweatband on. And yet they're somehow dropping 20 bombs and 30 bombs, and they're never getting thrown in sweaty lobbies. That should immediately make all the alarm bells go off. Nobody's looking at the big picture. Anybody consistently dropping those level of high kill games should be consistently dropping into the sweatiest matches of their life, and they're not. That should immediately call into question the legitimacy of these players. Low populated areas mean lower competition, therefore the players are less likely to be good. I think if you played rugby in another country where they don't play rugby, you'd likely be better. 3 to 4 kills is enough to get you out of playing with bots, says Hilly. I remember dropping a 15 kill game once, and it felt like different lobbies for a week. This is the servers you get put into without skill-based matchmaking. Yeah, that's the other thing. Oh, see, thank you for bringing that up, Paul. One of the reasons people that VPN target certain regions, the regions are so low population, there is no skill-based matchmaking there. There's not enough players. They literally have to run connection-based in certain regions of the world because there's not enough players. If they ran skill-based matchmaking in those low-population regions, then nobody would ever get into a dadgum game. They're specifically targeting regions where there is no skill-based matchmaking. Yeah, I'm telling you, Leonidas, the walls are closing in because some of the pros and some of the big streamers are like, enough is enough. I'm not defending this person. A lot of people are trying to circle the wagons. A lot of people are trying to be like, oh no, this person's legitimate. They're trying to defend them. I'm telling you what, there's going to be a dividing line on this subject. More and more people are waking up to the fact that, like, why would I sully my content and my brand by defending somebody who is blatantly VPNing into bot lobbies and using cheats? Why would I do that? A lot of people are feeling that way. They're like, no, I'm not. I'm not gonna die on this hill. Oh, what is this? Oh, it's an animated GIF. I was like, why is that not working? Why is it taking Activision so long then? That is literally the biggest question, Eugene. That's the big question. Seriously, that's the big question. Why is nothing happening? Terminal Stupidity with the 5 gifted member. Like, I think the problem is some of these creators now, they're so big, their clips are so viewed, they're so viral, it's like they're interwoven into the brands now. It's like, well, what do we do if we ban this person? Yo, Terminal gifting 5 members to the community. They're all getting grabbed. Thank you so much. Riz16, Lamau 111, Chris Norrell. These ones are going out a little bit slower. That's weird. They usually go out super duper fast. I don't know why only 3 of the 5 got grabbed. Maybe 2 of them went out as emails. They fixed it. If they fixed it, it wasn't happening. That wasn't happening a while ago. It's been working amazingly. Someone always takes their place. I don't buy that. Oh, there we go. Trash Panda got number 4. Maybe they're trying to make it more based on loyalty now, and so it's going a little bit slower. We're just out of potential members. I don't think so. There's names in chat right now that are gray that should be getting these. What's good, Silver Subaru? There we go. They all went out. Okay. That gets us a little bit closer to 3,000. Thank you, Terminal Stupidity. We need people to start doing memberships on their own, too. We can't keep relying on people to be this generous, man. If you can throw a 5 spot at the channel, do it. Get committed. Get involved. Free up space for others in the gifted member pool. These people are super generous. These creators aren't replaceable. Oh, are replaceable? I think you're looking at it too unidimensionally. Like, oh, somebody else will take their place. Have you paid any attention to streamer culture? That's not true at all. That's not true at all. Some of these people, if they got exposed and suddenly stopped making COD content, a lot of those people would stop watching the content. They would stop watching the platforms. They would stop. It would affect their view of the game. I read a comment that the third-person cameras added to Modern Warfare 2 were designed so you can't tell if someone's cheating. Tinfoil hat doesn't hold water. Did you see Sensor's video, how someone created software that looks up if someone cheated on their account? No, I've not seen that yet, Awakened Void. If they ban Timmy, it'll be fine. I mean, Timmy's not cheating, but if you ban somebody at that size, it would have a big negative effect on the brand. I think pretending that if like really, really big names, especially people signed to orgs, like look, if it was definitively shown and proven that Z-Laner was cheating, and he even came out and admitted it, that would be massively harmful to Call of Duty. It'd be harmful to the org he's a part of. It'd be harmful to tournaments that are sponsored. It'd be harmful to so many things. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think there's plenty of reason for it to be like, what do we do about this? We have people that are too big, too well known, too many numbers, too many viewers, too many eyeballs. What are we going to do? We got to protect these people. I am of the mind, as I've had my own experience with developers doing backroom favors and skeezy things, I wouldn't put it past them at all. It wouldn't surprise me in the least if we found out this has all been brushed or covered up. Yo, Patrick, thank you for jumping in as a brand new member. Enjoy the dope badge and dope emotes. Welcome to the Forge here at Reforge Gaming. We are so close to 3,000 members. It's right around the corner. Oh, shoot. Hang on. Oh, and a 6 spot from Mitch. Take my Monopoly money. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Timmy Tenders is officially partnered with COD. Banning would be a big thing. Yeah, Timmy's not cheating. Timmy isn't cheating. Anybody accusing him of cheating is an idiot. Like, his brand is not centered around being a god-tier player. Like, accusing him would be, like, one of the dumbest things you could possibly do. Like, talk about wasting your time and effort. Like, if there's ever been somebody that you know isn't cheating, it's Tim. Like, what the frick? You know what I mean? Yo, CAWX with 5 gifted members. You guys are freaking awesome. I got to get the next stream ready. We're going to be watching the new Callisto Protocol thing together. Give me just a second. We're still talking about this. I never wanted to make a title and thumb about cheating, But, I mean, I'm happy to sit here and rant about it because I find it to be infuriating. I find it to be infuriating. Just because, listen, especially over there on Purple, there's plenty of people that I know have defrauded the audience, have view-botted, and they buy members under an alt, and they trick people, and, like, there's plenty of fraud and defrauding people happening over there, and this is just so freaking blatant. So he has some sketch moments, but then he's done events on LAN and dominated. Oh no, it's doing that thing again. It's doing the thing again. CAW Wix 5 gifteds haven't gotten grabbed. Come on. No, they fixed it. Now it seems like it's acting up again. That's so disappointing. We're right on the dadgum doorstep. We're right there at 3K. When you look at the raw footage, yeah, but Sinnoh's, no, my biggest problem with Z is he zeroed in on a couple of moments that he could defend, and he ignored everything else. There are clips that make no sense. There's the clip where he's like falling, you know what I mean? Falling from the sky, and like all of a sudden he zeroes in on the guy. There's a handful of clips that like he just never addressed because I don't think you can. I don't think you can explain them away. Permanently banned, 100% proof. Setting up an impossible standard for them then. They just have to accept being called cheaters. No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying that there are clips that can't be explained. You've done things in the game that aren't possible. Your aim has done things that aren't possible. Like, if I were tracking someone flying by, they were like falling from the sky, and he was like intentionally keeping his gun away from them. He was like doing this really weird thing where he's like keeping his gun away, and then the minute he ADS, it was like that's not aim assist. Like his gun did something that doesn't happen in the game. I think if a creator could negatively impact their bottom lines, they've got bigger problems. He flips me all the time. He's good on Apex, Halo, and things like that. He's a god tier player. He's a god tier player. He's good. He's good without anything. He can go to LAN and throw down. He's a good player. Yeah. But good players, again, according to Upper Echelon, he said you'd be shocked. You'd be shocked. Because a lot of these really, really good, really, really high-level players, man, they want that edge. You know? Okay. Yeah, we watched the finals trailer during a members stream. We watched the finals trailer during a members stream, and the destructible environments and the chaos and the smoke and everything happened in that trailer. I don't know, man. It seems kind of crazy. It seems kind of crazy. I've been playing it. It needs more time. It seems like a hot mess. And I also am like, is it going to look that good? Is it going to look that optimized once it's right? Once it's like in the wild? Do you know what I'm saying? Activision may use your showcase players idea. People forget. People have tried replicating Z-Laner's aim assist in custom lobbies, and no one's been able to do it. Only when hacks were involved is when the aim looks similar. Activision would call them showcase players. They're meant to show you the best of the game. I think invoking Activision's I'm gonna turn off the poll. I don't know why these gifteds aren't getting claimed. Let me check the count. Right? CWA Wix. Let me check the member count and see if they're just getting distributed via email. Because the people that get them via email, they still get listed in the chat. We're at 2958. And we were at 2951. So 7 have gone out. I don't understand what's going on. It's like it's back to being glitched again. Hopefully they can figure it out, because there was a time where like they just wouldn't go out. Cheating's petty. It's not that hard to get better at a game. I still can't wrap my mind around someone who cheats in a video game. Like how good can that shallow victory feel? I think it's hard for you to relate to because they're approaching the game from a completely different mindset, right? They're approaching the game from a completely different mindset as you. Like they're not trying to play the game and have an experience. Or win or have a victory. That's not what's going on. They're literally trying to and this is a new reality. A lot of people are cheating in video games because they want to be famous. It's a business. Like they're going to spend the money, they're going to get the clips, right? That's what they're doing. They're trying to get famous, basically. YouTube has to verify these members. Yeah, but this happened when we had a lot less members. It's some kind of a chat glitch, and they fixed it, and now it seems to be back, right? It seems to be back. If you guys can hear my voice, try clicking at the top of the chat and click allow gifts. You know what I'm saying? Like click the gifteds and then click allow gifts. And we'll see if we can't get these ones to get distributed. I wonder if just so many people are not clicking allow gifts now. There's also business in the accusations. Too, right, and I hear that, Eugene. I 100% will agree with there are channels, there are people, okay, that are literally making videos and they're accusing people and they're using like thumbnails and stuff and they're just click farming, okay? How do you gift? You click that like trophy at the bottom of the chat and click gift members. They're just click farming, they're just drama farming. But there are also certain players that just have way too many clips and way too many sus moments for me to be like, oh, this is just somebody trying to drama farm. All right, see ya, Splataw. I took a bunch of Z's footage and I slowed it down back when we talked about it. There's tons of missing time. If you look at his gameplay in slow mode, it's super sus. Yeah, there goes one. Skylar just got one. Let's see if it goes up to 59. Because right now we're at 2958. Let me see if it goes up to 2959. They're just going out super, super slow now. Yeah, 2959. No, that one counted. Looks like a member-only chat. Congrats, brother. Yeah, thank you. I mean, even that one clip from when I shoutcasted him, it didn't make any sense. He went to do something, he stopped doing it and pre-aimed as if he knew the person was coming, and there was no reason for him to do it. There was no UAV, there was no sound. No, you could not see the player. And he goes to do this thing, and he cancels and he aims at the door, and then the guy walks in and he shoots him. And it's like, the average person watching that would be like, oh, that's just really, really heightened game instincts. He just knew to check the door. It's like, he doesn't check the door. He reacts to stimuli. There's a difference. If you watch player movement and player decisions and player choices, There are times where someone is instinctively checking corners, checking windows, checking doors. It's not what he does. He literally goes to he pulls something out and goes to do it, stops himself and aims at the door. And it's like, there's no UAV, there's no sound cue, there's no reason to do it. He saw him. He saw him. He responded. That part of his brain, it's too hyperactive, it's too reflexive. He saw him before he was visible. Pre-aimed, killed him. And it's like, not even an excellent gaming headset can help with a reaction like that. Yeah, there was no sound cue, right? There just wasn't. The guy was too far away. Whether it's Monopoly or business, cheating will always come out in the end and be unethical. Most people will not patronize your business for long once exposed. And that's the thing. Like, I want some of that stuff to be explained. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. You know, there were videos by, what's his name, Headband. And he was like, watch the center dot. Watch the center dot. And he just kept saying that. And when you watch the center dot, you're like, yeah, that doesn't look right. That's not how it's supposed to behave. There's something else going on. There's an extra mechanic happening. There's some kind of an automated thing, and it's super hard to see. It's super hard to deduce it in the speed of aiming and movement. I mean, there's the famous clip where he snaps on the guy on the roof, and he realizes that it happens, and he audibly like says something, and then he mid-fight un-ADSs, relocates and re-ADSs, and then loses the fight. Like, he makes a decision that doesn't even make any sense. He throws the fight. Why? Because he didn't want that to be on a kill cam. He did not want this dit lock. Oh, and if it had killed him, now I can be like, I don't know, that was weird. I relocated and, tried, I don't know what happened, and then I died. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, at that level, high-level players always do that. They always throw a gunfight that they're winning by un-ADSing and relocating. Yeah, that always happens. I've professionally shoutcasted. I've watched some of the highest level players in existence. I've never seen anybody do that. I've never seen anybody intentionally throw a fight. I've never seen it. That's how I felt in Halo Infinite. The amount of time and reflex needed in some of the encounters is inhuman. I hate getting headshot by someone that isn't looking at me because of ADS across the map. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if there's cheating in Halo. I mean, I guess since you can play on PC, there could be cheats. I never ran into anything in the times I played it that fell off. Okay, so CA Wicks gifted 5, and only 2 went out. So I think that glitch has log jammed us up. You guys might want to wait for the next stream, because we have got 164 new members in this stream. So I don't know what happened. I don't know why it's messing up again. If you want to experiment with it, you're risking. Oh, actually, no. The remaining 3 will automatically distribute. That's right. As long as one of them gets claimed, we're good. The problem before was that none of them got claimed. So the 3 remainings will get claimed when we switch to the next stream. So, yeah. I'll check that. I'll check on that later. Does it get funky when so many pop at the same time? I don't think so, because you guys went insane the other day, and it was a 50, then a 20, then a 10, then a 5, and every single one of them got claimed. You know what I mean? It's possible that they're continuing to make updates, and they broke whatever they fixed. There's a clip of Nadia snapping to a player she downed, even though she's trying to kill another player in the same room, just kept snapping back. Look, when Jake interviewed her and they showed that clip, I'm like, I don't understand how anybody looks at that and doesn't see what happens. Like, Jake almost plays like dumb. He's like, do people think that you move that player? And it's like, no one thinks that. No one thinks that. The player she was aiming at lag glitched and skipped. That happens, right? You see players do that. They lag and their player like teleports. And when the player teleports, her aim goes dink and just locks on to the next person. So that player's lag caused her aim snap to just automatically grab next visible player. She's initiated it. She's shooting a player, and as long as that player dies, you won't notice it. But the player doesn't die. The player skips, and suddenly she can't aim at them anymore. And her aim goes bink and just sticks to the next player. And she described it as a frame glitch. It's not a frame glitch. There's no drop frames. Your game doesn't drop frames. There's no. If you watch the rest of the clip, you can see there's nothing wrong with the frames in the game. Everything's running exactly right. There's no frame glitch. There's no frame skip. Your aim snapped to the next player because the player in front lagged and teleported. That happens all the time. Players lag and teleport. It's been happening since the dawn of online, gaming and shooters. And typically when that happens, a legit player would be like, "Oh, what the heck?" Because, you're shooting at them and then they teleport. Well, it didn't happen to her because her aimbot goes bink and just snaps to the next person because all it knows is I'm aiming at the closest, most readily available target. So it automatically just said, "Oh, that target's no longer there." They lagged, they glitched, and the bot can't account for that. Because it's not supposed to happen. Like, people teleporting is not supposed to happen. So the bot goes boom, and it just snaps to the next person. She's like, "I don't know. It happens to me sometimes. It's just a frame glitch." It's just a frame glitch. Like, what's a frame glitch? What does that even mean? Can you tell me what a frame glitch is? I mean, frames drop, frames skip, frame timing can get jacked up in games. That's not what happened. That's not what happened. What are your thoughts on streamers intentionally using suspicious clips for marketing their channels? I mean, there are definitely people that are like trying to be like, "Oh no," like they'll put that on the thumbnail and it's like, "Oh no, am I exposed?" And it'll be some amazing play that they made that's not suspicious at all. That's certainly a thing, right? That's certainly a thing, but that's not what a lot of these situations are. No, like, she didn't go over to the TT. There's a platform. It's not Twitter. It's the other one where you upload like really short videos. We don't like saying the name of that platform because I don't think YouTube likes that platform. She started throwing clips over there just saying how she's one of the best players. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. Check me out. She goes viral because she starts skyrocketing on that platform and clips are going off and she's dropping big kills. And then people started watching the gameplay and they were like, "What the frick? None of this makes any sense. This doesn't look like natural gameplay." I don't know what it is, but this one nameless person who I watch on this platform has the frame glitches too. Yeah. That's what I mean. Watch any of the high-level pro players. Have you ever seen them have that frame glitch? Have you ever seen their aim snap on another player because a player lags? I've never seen that. I've never seen a pro player aim at a player, and because they teleport, their aim just snaps to the next player. I've never seen that. Just you. Oh, you're so unlucky. That's just so unlucky that your aim snapped to another player automatically right after the first player lagged. Oh, man. Shucks. Must be so hard to play with these glitchy, laggy games out here, and yet millions of hours of viewable gameplay, all these other pros playing, and it doesn't happen to any of them. Man, you're just so unlucky. The Switchforce channel makes the same face for every thumbnail video. Talking about huge updates, and they're never huge updates. Yeah. I mean, we're going to start using, photos of me. We're going to start using photos of me on the reaction channel, but we're going to try and do it in a way, that is, not that cheesy. Frame sync issue will cause aimbotting. It's a thing. Scorn's Nightmarish Hellscape comes to Xbox Series X and S a week early. Oh, it's going to hit on the 14th of October. Which is... Oh, that's a Friday. We'll play that. That'll be fun. We've covered that enough, I think, to warrant playing it. Who got caught cheating? I mean, plenty of people. Plenty of people, man. At this point, the point that I was making that sent us off down this rabbit trail, because we were not talking about Warzone loadouts, right? And then that's fine, right? We were getting a weird suggest off of like a hacking video, which is kind of a bummer. I don't think that helped us today because we probably got a big bounce rate. People were probably coming in here and hoping for a different kind of video because they saw Warzone 2 loadouts and got really excited because they were watching some hacking video, and they probably bounced very quickly. So I think that probably hurt us. I never want to draft off those kind of videos. It's a bummer that we did, but we went off on this tangent. We went down this track because I said, listen, I think the walls are closing in. I think that I said months ago, I said, listen, there's an epidemic of soft cheating at the upper echelons of streaming. I think a lot of these people are soft cheating. Nicky Merckx won't name names, but even he knows that a lot of these people are up there soft cheating. He's all but said that it's why he went to Apex. It's one of the reasons he says, he went to Apex. He's made mention of it, at different times. And these accusation channels are kind of blowing up because, again, there's a handful of people in particular that I don't think they'll ever be able to explain certain clips. Occam's razor. The only explanation for some of these clips is that they were cheating. Like, the least amount of possible, explanatory power that we need to use. Why did this happen? Because they're using a cheat. There's no way to look at some of these clips, some of these snaps, some of these lock-ons, and to be like, that's just something that happens from aim assist. Oh, yuck. It's a laggy game. Yuck. No. Because it'd be happening a lot. It'd be happening to way more players. It wouldn't be only happening to a select few. There's so many people that stream Warzone every day in front of huge audiences, and these clips only emerge from a couple of people. And they don't just emerge one time. They emerge over and over and over again. There's a pattern of suspicious, weird behavior in the game. And there's plenty of other pro players, and there's plenty of other big streamers that don't have this happening. I typed Nadia on YouTube and your live was there. Oh, maybe because we were mentioning her in chat. It's possible that that's just your funnel. It's possible that's just your funnel. Because I went incognito and we're not showing up in her funnel. I'm incognito. And if you do that, or if you do, cheating or whatever, you're just seeing all the videos about her. And now there's a bunch of videos about Censor. Yeah, we're not in that funnel. We were in a funnel of a video showing people how to hack or something. Some kind of an unlock tool or something. Sounds right. The tactic has been exposed and the community is becoming much less tolerant. Listen, the reason I think this is getting more traction with her is because she doesn't have this history and this career and this big long backlog of people to defend her. There are certainly people defending her, but the reason that the accusations against her are getting traction is she came out of nowhere. So she doesn't have this backlog and this organization to legitimize her. right? Because a lot of the guys, you know, with Z, it's like a lot of the times it's like he's probably not running it, right? You know, the heat's getting too hot, so he's a good player. He can boot up and he can throw down and get good games, right? Like again, he's probably VPNing into bot lobbies because again, the kill count's just always ridiculous and the players are not even remotely close to his level. So it's like, you know, the heat gets there and you know he probably turns a lot of it off because he doesn't need it. He's a good player. You take a high-level player like that and you throw him into low-skill lobbies, and of course he's going to drop 30 bombs and 20 bombs in big kill games. Of course. Google is closing down Stadia cloud streaming service. The service will remain on until January of 2023. Google is refunding all Stadia purchases. Full details here. Gee, money, Christmas. Don't claim you're the best and then call people this because you cheat or whatever. That's not why people are calling you out. Yeah. And I said that. I said that's just narrative armor. She's going to use that as her out. That's her exit strategy. The reason that she keeps making that a part of the narrative, she tweeted the other day, and even, you know, Jake took a screenshot of it and tweeted. The reason that she's doing that is she's creating narrative armor. She's laying the groundwork to be like, that's her exit strategy. That's how she's going to leave. Right? She's gonna back out. That's how she's gonna do it. Shout out Doc for holding up the COD community. I mean, we don't need to shout out Doc. We all know the COD community is very forgiving and understanding. I don't understand that GIF. GIF doesn't age well? No. Famous or infamous, the fact that we know her name means that whatever she did got her channel out there. Hopefully people become wise to the tactic sooner or later. My personal theory is she's going to ride it until the wheels fall off. She'll get ghost banned or perma banned or some type of a ban or something, some type of a restriction. Something will happen, and she'll come out and just say, you know, the haters won. The haters won. You know, I got mass reported and I got banned, and this is all because I'm a woman. And then she'll just use the popularity of her now giant footprint that she's earned herself. She'll use that footprint to just pivot to variety games. She'll start playing other games. Got banned from that place for bullying. I don't think that's true. I thought they were trying to do that to to Beeman over there. No, she's over there right now, homie. 2.4 million followers. Streaming right now. Yeah, that's false. I was like, I'm pretty sure she's not been banned from over there. Unless she got like a temporary warning or something. This is going to start. No, that's not going to happen, Cole. That's not going to happen. That's not what this is. That's not what this issue is. Oh, we hit 3 hours. Oh, well. I was trying to keep this one under 3 hours, but I wasn't paying attention at the time. Her first account got banned, and someone got her a new account with a bunch of stuff, and they apparently edited her account status, something along those lines. That sounds like a spook story. That sounds like rumor mill. That platform is not very forgiving, and they're not like unbanning folks. Like I've not seen a whole lot of evidence for that. Signs of a good conversation. This is why we fact check. Yeah, that's why whenever anybody says something like that, I'm always like, let me check that. That would have made news. That would have been pretty big headlines, you know. Because like when iShowSpeed he got knocked off like every single platform. That made news, right? That's why he came over. YouTube's like his last stand. I mean, my man doesn't have anywhere else to stream. You know, he doesn't have anywhere else to stream. Ricochet would have stopped her if she was cheating, though. That's not true, homie. Like, what you're saying is, like, listen, man, it's just ignorant. You're just saying stuff that's ignorant. So every day that people are playing the game and they face cheaters and they find cheaters and they report cheaters, why isn't Ricochet catching those people? Like, what do you mean? Ricochet doesn't catch people like that. That'd be amazing if it did, right? It'd be amazing if it did catch people like that effectively, you know? That'd be awesome if it was that effective. Certainly didn't stop people cheating in the Modern Warfare 2 lobby. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We literally faced people during the dadgum. We faced people during the beta that were cheating. Oh man. Okay, hang on. I gotta go to Striking Distance Studios channel. I'm assuming they're gonna premiere it over there. We'll have to watch their Twitter feed. Are we close to 500 likes? Guys, could we get 30 more likes on this video? We need 30 more likes, and we need 40 members to hit 3,000 members. We are 40 members away. If you've never done a membership on YouTube, help us hit this amazing milestone. We'll unlock an emote, and Friday night, my wife will have to dance on the Just Dance stream. We'll see who's the better dancer is. Okay? We only need 40 more. I need people to do it on their own, though, because gifteds are acting funky again. So if you've never done a membership, man, hit that join button or hit that little trophy at the bottom of chat. Throw me a 5 spot. It gets you into a month of members-only talk shows at the end of every day, and it gets you into our members-only Discord. Okay, I'm going to quickly run upstairs. Smash that like. A 15-month milestone from Matthew Johnson, and it's a tier 2. Welcome back, Matthew. Thank you so much for renewing. That is a great, great milestone. We're still at 2959. More YouTube UI on desktop. New buttons and positions. Yeah, I've seen that. Like everything's rounded. Yeah. Callisto Protocol new gameplay. 12 waiting. Join. Subscribed. Bell. Thumbs up, thumbs down, share, save. Yeah. It looks clean, doesn't it? I really like some of the new UI. I like all the rounded stuff. Oh my gosh. Insomniac, I really hope these get claimed, homie. You are such a freaking madman. 20 gifted members. Guys, click in chat, allow gifts. You may have to click join, go to the join menu, click the 3 dots at the top, and toggle your allow gifts off and toggle it back on again. We need at least one of these to get claimed, and then they'll all get claimed. Jiminy Christmas, sir. You might end up getting refunded, though. We're only going to be streaming. There we go. As long as one gets grabbed, the rest are supposed to auto-distribute. Okay? So, hopefully the rest get grabbed. If they don't, when we end this stream and go to the next, they should get auto-distributed and emailed. So as long as one gets grabbed, that's all that matters. Oh, the rest of them look like they're getting grabbed. Hopefully all 20 get grabbed. I'll come back and count them in a moment. Smash the like button. Get us to 500 likes. We're going to be checking out the new Callisto Protocol gameplay shortly. We only need 24 more likes, right? Yeah, the Archon got one. If you get a membership, get in our Discord. And don't go anywhere. I'll be right back. We got more great content coming up. Well, apparently our audio bitrate is too low. I guess our music's not loud enough. Okay, so it looks like... Looks like 3 of the 20 got claimed. Yeah, you might have a brand account if you can't claim them. Yeah, we're at 2962 now, so 3 got claimed. So there's like 17 plus the other guy's 2. There's like 19 that should get claimed once we go to the next stream. So let's do that. Yeah, second show today, we're going to be watching the Callisto Protocol. There's new gameplay hitting today on their official channel. And let me just adjust some things so we can go over and do that. We're going to do redirect. And if redirect doesn't work, I'll provide you guys with the link. Like sometimes redirect, you know, some people it just never works for them. So I always provide the link. Okay. What are your thoughts on Google shutting down Stadia? I thought like a year ago when they refused to shut it down, it just felt like such a fool's errand. I was like, I don't know. It just didn't seem like it even got out of the starting gate. You know what I mean? Like I honestly thought it was already getting shut down, and then they didn't, and I was like, oh, okay. Okay. All right, Callisto Game hasn't tweeted anything, but that's okay. All right. All right. There's a link in chat for those of you that don't traditionally have a great experience with redirect. Hey, thanks so much for clicking on this. This is going to be the Callisto Protocol new gameplay. It will debut in about 30 minutes. So we're going to spend the front half of this just sort of discussing as a live audience what we think about the game. Is it just a Dead Space clone? Are there concerns that it's going to be too much like Dead Space? Many people interested in the Callisto Protocol deaths. They're pretty gruesome. They're pretty nasty. So if you didn't catch the live stream, hit subscribe and the bell button. These do tend to be a little bit longer. We will be watching the footage and breaking it down. I'm going to end the previous stream. We talked about Modern Warfare 2. Actually, no, Warzone 2. We talked about Warzone 2 bringing back Loadouts. So I'm going to end that stream now and bring people over through redirect. And if you didn't get a chance to